everyone, Old School Pokemon here, back again with the Pokeflips podcast, joined by my usual co-host, KetchumAllCollectibles, Dan. How we doing today, Dan?
We're doing. It is the last year of 2025, which is crazy. The year flew by. It was a blur. It was a boom. It was all kinds of crazy things. So today we're going to talk about it. If anyone has any questions or anything, let us know. As we always do, we will answer all questions. Probably run it till 4. We didn't talk beforehand, Nick, but probably run it till 4 p.m. Eastern. Probably run it just under 3 hours or potentially earlier if no one's here, if everyone's partying for New Year's Eve already.
There we go.
But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Had a nice little Christmas break. That was awesome. Now I'm trying to get remotivated to get back into work mode. How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was good. Time with family and all that stuff. So that's always good. But yeah, tonight for New Year's Eve, we're kind of laying low. We're not going anywhere. We're just hanging out, the family. I'm doing a seafood boil. I'm making some Wagyu steaks, so that's exciting. I'm going to have some crab legs, some lobster claws, some shrimp. You know, I mean, it was a boom year, so my New Year's Eve dinner budget is it's up there, and I'm going big.
I like it.
And I'm trying to. I forgot to post this on Instagram. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to get the usual Instagram post up because I forgot.
We'll just all sit here in silence, waiting for you to stop working. That's okay.
Everyone wait. We'll then I grabbed the link for the vertical one. If you're in vertical land, you don't want to be there.
Everyone will hate you.
Yeah, if you're in vertical land, feel free to go to our channel, click over to the horizontal one. It does exist, but I hate how Instagram moved the story button. Live.
I don't like messages now being on the bottom. I'm still clicking the little heart button to see all my likes instead of messages. I'm not used to it yet.
Yep, I am. I'm not great at Instagramming to begin with, but now I'm even worse because they switch things up on me. All that stuff is tidied up. Oh, here we go. Timmy McGee says, "Let's turn the red lights on and make some forecast for 2026."
Oh God, Timmy, it's too early for red lights. We just started.
I'm not gonna go red light, but we did title it this way. It's like recapping 2025, forecasting 2026. Like, let's talk a little bit about it. You're not a YouTuber, so like this is the only place we're gonna hear your thoughts. People can follow along on KetchumAllCollectibles. They'll get my thoughts in video format every Monday at 1 p.m. But why don't you start? I'll start questions as we go. Just a reminder, anyone who's here, like leave your questions in chat. If you put question in all caps or whatever, usually I can find them all. But anything you do for visibility makes it easier. But yeah, Nick, you go ahead and then I'll follow up.
Forecast for next year. I think it's gonna be more of the same. I think we're kind of sort of out of the boom. Not really. But yeah, I think it'll kind of continue like this. We got the Ascended Heroes coming out, which that'll be a awful release. I am not looking forward to that whatsoever. It's gonna be so hard to get packs out of the gate. It's gonna be a really good set, but it's gonna be so hard to get packs out of the gate. So that's gonna be an expensive set until we get all the other products, the ETBs, booster bundles, all that type of stuff. And then we got the Rayquaza set coming out after that, and the 30th anniversary coming out after that. So I think it's going to be another banger year. I can't see it slowing down going into this year or next year.
I'm assuming it's a little bit like everything is always more than one thing at the same time. I think our human brains like to attribute things to like this caused it, this caused the boom, this caused the crash, whatever it may be. But like today today, yesterday in particular, there's a lot of things being bought on TCG Player. There's a lot of like strong sales in certain things, certain sealed products, and to some extent, I'm in my Pokenomics Discord. There's a lot of people talking about spending the zero and how it works and if they can do it. And I anecdotally know of people spending multiple six figures on sword, shield, sealed product so that they don't have any, or so that they have less tax obligations for 2025. So like, is that causing everything? Likely no. But is that causing some? Yes. Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Fusion Strike. I don't check these prices day by day, but I think a lot of those different sets are kind of popping up 10, 15%, 20%, maybe depending on the one that you're looking at. But as far as forecasting 2026, I still think I will be correct. I am open to being wrong. There's some percent chance that I'm wrong, but I think Destined. Let me make sure I hit every set. Prismatic, Destined, Journey, Black, White, Mega Evolution, and Phantasmal Flames. I think I got all of them. I think every set will be available under MSRP per pack. Will they use their 1 million additional square feet to print booster packs only and put them in bundles and put them in ETBs, or maybe they only put them in 2-pack, 3-pack blisters, whatever it may be? Like, I don't know what SKU is going to come, but packs will come, and I think every set will be widely available under MSRP. Will it touch your boxes, your sealed booster case investments, your sealed ETB investments? I don't know. I frankly don't care that much. Like, I would rather Destined go cheaper because I only have 4 cases. But like, if it runs off into the sunset without me, it's like I still have my 4 cases. That's like, I don't believe in the price that much. It's only 7 months old. Prismatic, I do have like, I think I have 6 sealed ETB cases, and then I have many, many thousands of packs. If and when the price does go down, I will add more packs as it goes down. Destined Rivals, if and when the price goes down, I will add more boxes, packs, cases, whatever, as it happens. And if it doesn't, it's like, if I'm wrong and Destined runs to 20, the Sword Shield that I bought, like I've bought 6 figures in the past month or so. I've bought 6 figures on net of like Sword Shield cases, early SV1, SV2, SV3, SV4, 151 packs, Crown Zenith packs, things like that. And like, I will always be able to buy Destined. I will always be able to buy Prismatic. If Prismatic runs the 25 a pack, I'll just buy it for 20 a pack and then sell it for margin. It's like, I'm not afraid of missing out entirely. Will I, like, my money's just elsewhere that will feel some amount of gain. Will it feel the most gain? Will it feel as much gain as Destined Rivals booster cases or Prismatic ETB cases? Or I don't know. But like, yeah, as always, one guy telling you what he's doing and why, and I'm not going to be optimally correct on everything.
Mm-hmm. Like you're not correct on the pricing of packs.
We'll see. I'm open to being wrong. Many of the irrationally exuberant, crazy, inexperienced people that are just gambling, guessing on the other side, they will yield no ground. Like, I guarantee this. There are people that guaranteed Vivid Voltage wouldn't go under 200 5 years ago, that today are guaranteeing Destined Rivals won't go under 300. And it is what it is. It's like, yeah, I will cede some ground, and I will say, like, I could be wrong. Destined, Prismatic, some of these sets might be as cheap as they ever will be. But me missing out is missing into Fusion Strike. If I'm going to miss into Silver Tempest, Fusion Strike, Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, if I'm going to miss into those cases, I think I'll be fine. Because in your future where Destined never goes under 300, I have a hard time coming to terms with, like, Silver Tempest cases not doing well, Fusion Strike cases not doing well, 151 packs not doing well, right? Like in this future bullish world, I think I'll do just fine with what I have. And yeah, we'll see. We will be here. We are soon entering, about 3 months from now, we will be entering season 6. We will be finishing season 5 of PokeFlips, which is crazy. We've been going since 2021. So yeah, we are a few more episodes in our season 5, and then we'll be starting season 6 in March. Absolutely insane.
Exciting.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Julia. Got to go to a New Year's Eve party, but happy New Year's, guys. We'll watch this back next year. Yeah. across the pond, so probably approaching midnight a lot quicker than we are. We still have a solid, well, Nick has an extra hour than me, but I've got a solid 10.5 hours to go here. Here was a question that I missed 1 minute before the one that I took, but Timmy McGee also wants to know, OSP, are you holding your silver? Are you holding your gold? Are you waiting for $100 an ounce silver? Or are you panic selling all of it?
It's wild what's going on with that.
Is it at like 80 now?
It's got to be close. It was at 70, like 76 the last time I looked at it.
72.42 as I speak.
So
it
crashes.
It did peak. It actually went above 80. It went above 80 on Sunday, apparently. So it's already crashed 15% from the peak.
I'm holding all mine. I'm holding all my silver. I'm not selling it yet. My mom, we went through one of our closets and dug out all like the just scrap 90% silver. And we brought that to a friend of mine's shop, and sold that off for my mom. So I did sell some silver, just none of the stuff that I'm holding on to.
I have a little bit myself. I probably have less than 100 ounces, everything combined. Maybe a little bit more than that. I don't even know. I have a bunch of junk silver. I have some rounds. I have a bunch of American Eagles, but not like a crazy amount. I'm not doing anything with mine. I don't know what earbud. I had my earbud in, like, it was in the correct ear, but it was in like a weird way. I just noticed that somehow. But anyways, I'm not, like, mine is genuinely like PC type stuff. I have nothing like extra to but if I had speculatively 1,000 ounces of silver that I was holding for like short, medium, long term, I would be taking profits on some amount of it. I'm just not in that situation. So like the small amount that I do have is just entirely staying with me. That's where I'm at with silver, gold, and things like that. But yeah, it's going on a wild ride. I've AppMax pulled up right now. Year to date, it started the year at sub 30, 29 and change. It peaked at over 80 this past weekend, and it's currently in the low 70s. So well over a double. This is PokeFlips. We deal with and invest in and speculate Pokemon. So like 2x in a year, 2.5x in a year, like what are we talking about? My Evolving Skies, my Destined Rivals, I have Destined Rivals that I got allocated at $100 a box in May. There's now $400 a box. So it's like, step aside silver. I'm investing in cardboard. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, still, there's a lot of silver out there. Silver's a big industry. It's actually like an industrial metal. Where I used to work, we had a lot of silver. We had a lot of silver in our different alloys and solders and fluxes and things like that. So, pretty wild. I don't know how many. What's the? I'm gonna look up the market cap of silver. Gold is in the trillions.
Yeah, I have no.
I'm assuming silver probably is too. 4.2 to 4.7 trillion. So yeah, it's there's a lot of it out there. It's a very big market, and it's more than doubled this year. So we booming in silver as well.
We definitely are. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if we do hit over $100 an ounce at some point. Because yeah, right now it's on an absolute tear. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And then what happens if and when it does go down? What's the new floor gonna be like?
Yeah, it will be very interesting to watch it. I know my dad holds some. I don't know if he's moving any of his, but he definitely holds a little bit. And like I said, if I was holding any speculatively, I guess only if I had something else to put the proceeds into. I wouldn't necessarily just sell it to have cash in my bank account. But it's wild. And naturally, price goes up. So it's like there's more people wanting to buy it today at 70, 75 an ounce than there was back in January at 30 an ounce, because price is low, sell, stay away, yucky, it's bad, like headed to zero. price goes high, buy before it goes higher. Like that's just that's the human condition. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go. A couple more questions coming in. Hamburger Ron says, do you think vintage Pokemon will hit a fall off much like vintage Magic as people age out of the buying phase of nostalgia? I do. I think it's highly speculative, but if I had to gamble one way or the other, and mind you, talk versus walk, I hold almost nothing for the very long term. I have this slab in my PC for the very long term, the best artwork in the hobby, and PSA 9 first edition. I did just recently buy a PSA 10, one of my favorite arts in the hobby, Burn Tower. I bought a PSA 10 Burn Tower on Heritage for like $4,000 that will be coming in the mail hopefully sometime soon. That's like a kind of PC play, kind of like it feels too cheap because I was selling them for less than that 4 years ago. But I think there's a chance that look at sports cards. Look at sports cards. Pokemon, Gyarados can't go to jail. He can't break his tail or anything like that. All the things that people say. But I'm truly bullish on Pokemon long term. And there's a chance that the cards that are $5,000 today, maybe not your alt arts, maybe not your ones that are $5,000 that maybe shouldn't be. But like I think there's a chance that some of the vintage cards, some of the more fundamentally sound cards that are 5, 10, 20 grand today, I think there's a good argument that they could be 50, 100,000 plus in the years and decades to come. PSA 10 base versus Charizard, things like that. Your trophies, your illustrators, already in the illustrator, low millions, low mid millions for the PSA 10, low millions for the 9s, and high six figures. There's arguments to be made that there could be Pokemon cards that are in the 5, 10, $20 million ranges or higher in the future, 20, 30, 50 years from now. I not guaranteeing it by any stretch of the imagination. I don't personally hold any of those cards, but I think it's decently likely to happen. But who knows? In vintage Magic, I don't follow it all, so I don't know exactly how it's doing. But like I know your Alpha Beta Lotuses, your like cream of the crop, I think is doing pretty well. Maybe not as good as Pokemon, but overall, like I think there's some solid 6-figure, 7-figure pricing in early Magic too. What do you think, Nick? You invest in, speculate in heavy?
I don't know anything about Magic, so maybe I'm completely wrong here. But like, are there like I only know like for like the Power 9 and all that type of stuff for vintage Magic. Are there like modern day equivalents of that? Because like in Pokemon, obviously based at Charizard's still coming out in modern sets. So you're going to have people who know Charizard, grow up with modern Charizards, and maybe one day go back to collecting like all the Charizards or something along those lines. So I think Pokemon has that thing where even like the vintage cards are still relevant today. Or I don't know if that's a thing with Magic. So I think that's part of it, and then maybe it's just because of me, a biased on my part, but I do still think WotC is always going to be popular and will always do well and hold value. But I might be a tad biased with that.
And some people in the chat mentioning that like Magic still has, I don't know if they were understanding your question correctly, because I think they understood it differently. There are valuable cards in Magic currently, but they're like Soul Stones, they're serialized stuff. I think they have made a couple shouts towards the Power 9. Someone in chat can probably correct me, but like they made some kind of Lotus. They aside from the 30th anniversary thing where they reprinted Lotus, unplayable, all that stuff. I want to say there's like a certain kind of Lotus, and I think there's Mox, not Sapphire, Pearl, Ruby, all the original ones. But I want to say there's like Mox Opal. Is that one of the original ones? Or there's been some shouts towards the Power 9 in more recent Magic, but I know it enough to know that some of those exist. but not exactly what they're called or what they were called at the time. I don't see anyone in chat helping me out, but something Lotus. There was something Lotus for sure. Maybe there was a Mox Diamond. Yeah, I think I sold on behalf of a consigner. I want to say I sold a Mox Diamond, which wasn't one of the original Moxen, I believe is the plural of Mox, but it was kind of like a shout towards the former, presumably. And then there's some set a few years ago that had some kind of a Lotus in it, I think. But it wasn't the Black Lotus. Anyways, I think there's like a very strong bull case for vintage Pokemon. It doesn't necessarily have to imitate what Magic is. They're two distinctly different things. Somebody mentioned in chat, like Magic is more player-based, Pokemon is more collector-based. But I think there's strong arguments for like, and I think it's like the better stuff, maybe your high-end Gold Stars and Shinings and your base set first editions, things like that, I think are going to age the best out of everything. But highly speculative. Nobody really knows. Timmy McGee referencing me talking about buying Sword Shield says a few years ago, PokeFlips went on NN's live stream. Dan mentioned he doesn't like to chase old sets and prefer to buy newer boxes that are cheaper. What changed now that you are buying lots of Sword Shield? Well, right in your question, I like to buy newer boxes that are cheaper. What newer boxes are cheaper? I'm literally buying, like, what changed is I never thought I'd live in a world where the older boxes are the same prices. I am buying Silver Tempest for cheaper than Destined Rivals. That is what has changed. I don't love it. I don't love, relative to other things that I invest and speculate in, I don't love Sword Shield, but it's like I want to buy some amount of something. So I'm going for what I like best out of all my options. And there are no called strikes in investing. Like, I don't have to buy anything. But again, like I'm buying some amount of it, kind of hedging my short-term maybe bearishness on certain things, but long-term more bullish. So yeah, I think that makes me not a flip-flopper. I think that logically follows. But Nick, what are your thoughts on that? Am I a flip-flopper chasing older sets now, or do I have a reasonable explanation?
No, it's all price goes up. You want to buy. You have FOMO now. You weren't buying when PK was shouting to buy Chilling Reign at $80 a box.
And I will say, like, in a future that I think we will see again, in a time where the 2 to 5 year old boxes are 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000, and the new boxes are 100, 90, 110, 120. I will be buying the new ones and not the older ones. But we're in this like weird time warp world where the 11 years I've been in the hobby, this has never been a thing. I believe the 30 years of the entire hobby, this has never been a thing. So I've adjusted to the modern realities. Again, some people will call that a flip-flop, but some people don't have too many brain cells, I think. And I'm not accusing Timmy McGee of this. I think Timmy McGee has a good, challenging question towards past things that I've said. So just to be clear on that. I know one thing that I'm thinking about as I say that is, like, I remember Alex was mentioned here, so I'm going to use him as an example. I remember when the Charizard UPC came out years ago, he made a video saying, like, hey, this is too expensive. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to touch this. Like, the Charizard UPC is a bad buy. I agreed. We had the same sentiment on $200, $250 Charizard UPCs when they came out. Not the current one, not the Mega Charizard one, the original one years ago. And then, like, 6 months later, they were sub 100. And I remember talking to him, and it's like, hey, I think I put that, like, back on his radar. I remember talking with him, and he's like, oh, hey. And then, like, within the next week, he made a video saying, like, hey, guys, Charizard UPC, same product as 6 months ago, very different price point. Same product, different price point, makes it a good investment now. He bought a bunch. I bought a bunch. A lot of people, smart, bought a bunch. A lot of the dummies panic bought them at 250, 200, and then they panic sold them at 100, and that's just what people do. But, yeah, he made a video, like, talking about being bullish on Charizard UPCs, and some of his dummy followers, I'm not saying all of his followers are dummies, but some subset of them are, just like some subset of mine and all that stuff. But some of his followers were calling him a flip-flopper. You said 6 months ago Charizard UPC was a bad investment. What are you talking about? Now you're saying it's a good one? well, the price used to be 200 and now it's 100. You moron! Like, what are we talking about? That's how people are, though. People are so like, you said one thing, and that has to be universal, absolute, forever. My brain cannot comprehend circumstances changing and things changing. It's wild out here. What some people are like.
Dan's really calling you out, Timmy. I'm sorry.
No, I know Timmy well, and I know Timmy's a smart guy, and I'm not putting this. I'm putting this towards the Timmys, not our Timmy McGee.
Have you seen the pricing on the new Charizard UPC? That really hasn't dropped all that much. Yes, it's come down, right, from 200. I think it was like 220 at release, and now they're 140, 150. But we got a massive wave 2 of those Charizard UPCs, and I thought pricing would come down a good bit more than it has. I know of a few people just like that are like big buyers on Facebook, posting on Facebook that they're buying them at 125 to 130, which I was surprised by. I thought people would wait a little bit longer to start like mass buying those, but I thought that was interesting. And I am kind of surprised that the price is holding up as well as it is.
Likewise, I was expecting, like, I kind of wanted to go deep on them if and when they got. I wasn't going to wait for like 80, 90 like they went last time around. I kind of agree with a lot of people, the general sentiment that like things have changed a decent bit. And I think your entry points are going to have to be higher than they used to be. That's why I'm saying, like, I think boxes will go under MSRP that haven't been there yet. But that's like very cautious compared to what history has been. Like, not only has every set been widely available under MSRP, every set pre-2025 has been widely available under $100. Like every set, every single one. I've been using MSRP all past year, like being very cautious, being very safe. I still could be wrong, being cautious, but yeah, EX Deoxys and Team Rocket Returns and like Evolving Skies and every set ever pre-Surging Sparks has been widely available under $100. But I'm saying MSRP because I kind of realized we're in a little bit different time, and I think the entry point is going to be higher. And so my target was like close to MSRP, maybe 110, 120. I would have went out into the market and bought several cases. So far where I stand, my entire first wave, I broke down, I sold, I got rid of basically at 200 a box or whatever. Like I did well with that. And then the second one, they're all currently sat on a pallet right now. I'm kind of sitting on them, sitting tight. I'm not panic dumping them all. Because, like, if I liquidate at 150 and then rebuy at 120, sure, the price went down 20%. But, like, shipping and fees, and you don't make any money. Like, no. This is not the stock market where you click a button and you sell for 0 fees and you buy for 0 fees. And you can make a 20% margin on a 20% swing. This is trading cards where like a 20% swing means you broke even. You need something to go down 20% just to break even on rebuying it. So I'm holding tight with what I have. Again, it's just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I tell people the amount that I have, and if and when it goes to 120, I might double down. I probably have 10 or 12 cases. I might buy 10 or 12 cases if it goes to 120. Then if it goes to 100, buy 10 or 12 more. Space being a limiting factor. Space on these things is just miserable. I don't have a ton of Charizard UPCs, a ton of 151 UPCs, because the amount of air in them is just disgusting. It's so hard to store them.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I did the same thing as you. I set back all my wave 2 stuff. Broke down and sold, or broke down most of it. Sold off wave 1, and then wave 2 I held on to. Most of wave 2.
Stephen Kassoon says, I'm surprised you're surprised. People never wait.
That is true. That is a good point.
Timmy McGee getting a shout out for being on the left end of the distribution of IQ. Who are you calling a dummy, buddy? Let's see. L Dubs wants to know, did you get enough Sword Shield cases before the next Sword Shield boom next year? I I in the past month have added 2 cases each of almost every single Sword Shield set, Evolving Skies included. I've bought quite a bit. I've probably put 100K into Fusion 6,000 and Evolving is like nearly 10, 12. Probably almost 100 grand I put on net into, and some of that is being split with my dad. Some of that is going onto a pallet. But like this year, for anyone uninitiated, like I'm investing in Pokemon by the pallet with my dad, and we're trying to build a pallet every year. This year, the pickings have been kind of slim. We have our 4 Destined Rivals cases. We have our 4 Journey Together cases. We have our 4 of each thing. I don't do specialty sets because I just don't want to do ETBs and the air and all that stuff. But instead of in place of putting cases back at $200, $300, prices I don't believe in for sets that are less than a year old, I've opted to spend more money and get something that's better, that I think will age better. And again, like I'm gonna put it all out there on YouTube, all the dates, all the timestamp prices, everything that I have will be published by May of 2026, and we'll see how it ages against people's $400 Destined Rivals booster boxes, of which I have 4 cases worth that I paid $99 a box on, or $100 a box, or whatever it was. Let's see. Timmy wants to know, why not sell silver and use the proceeds for booster box cases? Why are you not dumping all your Silver Eagles and Mercury Dimes and buying Sword Shield booster cases?
The smart answer would be to diversify outside of Pokemon. The actual answer is just laziness and sentimental value. Because like the coin stuff I did with my dad. So I'm more hesitant to sell that off. Because like there's like all kinds of good memories attached to that. Plus, Pokemon stuff keeps me busy enough, and I don't really want to just like bulk it out to someone, because it's relatively easy enough to sell it yourself. So I think when I do sell it, it'll be through I'll sell it myself. But yeah, it's just really just laziness.
And then some amount of the conversation comes into, it's like, if you were to sell it, incur some fees, it's going to take some effort. You're not arbitraging, making money in Pokemon while you're spending time with your silver, and some of the same arguments for like not selling Charizard UPCs at 150 to rebuy them at 120. I did effectively, like wave 1, I got rid of all of them at 200-ish, broke down or whatever, graded the promos and sold some of the promos and so on. But at 150, it's just not substantially worth it. Someone mentioned in chat too, like if it were to go to 100 to 120 currently, people would just buy them in mass to break them down and get the packs and the promo and things like that. But I could be wrong here. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say this. I think within a year, I think the Charizard UPC will again go sub MSRP. I think that thing is going to be printed to oblivion. I think it's going to come out through Target and Walmart and Costco and Sam's and wherever else. It may or it may not. Will that affect the cases? Part of the reason that I'm sat on my 8 or 10 cases or so is because I think there's a likelihood that a lot of the reprints go through these wholesale clubs, which are going to be box by box. So you could have a scenario where, like, look at Prismatic right now today. What's Prismatic per pack? $8 per pack or something? Let me I always just use my own buy list.
$8.59.
Okay. I always just pull up my own buy list. It is $8.77. So Prismatic is $8.77 a pack. The ETBs are like over 100, and then the ETB cases are like over 1,300, I think. So it's like you have levels of sealed premium because most of the reprints have been not ETBs, and some of the reprints that were ETBs weren't ETB cases. So like I think there's a potential, again, world where in a year or two, the individual boxes might be 100. The cases might be 500. The cases might have a decent premium to them because they didn't reprint the cases as heavily. And 5, 10, however many years from now, who knows? Like even 5 years from now, it could just age fairly well, keeping my Wave 2 cases sealed as cases as they are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more questions. Good backlog of questions. The Mexican hipster, just like Brad G cards. So the Mexican hipster classifies if you are a victim of a crime and you tell the authorities about that, Brad G cards would call you a snitch. The Mexican hipster would call you a snitch, apparently. So
it makes sense to me. I can see it.
For the uninitiated, again, I am a victim of a crime. That is not a meme. I'm not making that up. Over 30 days ago, I live in New York. Snipe.com. Rick Probstein's brainchild. Brainchild lacking some brain cells, clearly. It exposed all the information that everyone gave to it. All the information. It wasn't hacked. It wasn't like they literally just like put it on a platter because they didn't know how to code a website, apparently. But in New York, companies have a legal obligation to disclose to consumers if they mishandle their private information. And over 30 days ago, the Snipe data breach happened, and Rick Probstein had a phone call with me. Technically, he told me on the phone that my data was breached. So technically, he probably covered that portion of it, but he lied to me, and he said payment information was not included. It is confirmed 100% that your last four of your credit card, your expiration date, that your type of credit card. If you used ACH with Snipe, your entire routing number, your entire bank account number has fully been exposed through the Snipe data breach. And over 30 days have passed. He did not meet his legal obligation to disclose to consumers that he mishandled their data. So like, this is like, normally I'm very allegedly this, that, the other thing. Rick Probstein broke the law. Probstein, Snipe, all that stuff, like they broke the law. I put it out there, my name, my face, my Instagram page. If Nick feels uncomfortable, I say these are the not the opinions of Pokeflips, not the opinions of Nick Old School Pokemon. These are not the opinions. These are the stated objective facts of KetchumAllCollectibles Incorporated and Dan of KetchumAllCollectibles Incorporated. It's wild to me that like it happened. Nobody cares. James posting the GIF in Discord. If you're in if you're in the Pokenomics Discord, you'll know what I mean. But like James is a savant for capturing the mood of the moment in GIF format. James is like he is just a master of like finding the correct GIF for the era that we're in. Most of the year it was like the boom GIF or like a rocket GIF or whatever. But lately he's doing the one Jurassic Park. The see, nobody cares. Rick Probstein broke the law. eBay let him back in. Nobody cares. People can sign in with him. People bidding on his auctions. It's like nobody cares. And I'm only speaking. I'm not talking anything about shill bidding. That's all there too. That's all extra. That's all like cherry on top, whatever else. I'm only talking with respect to information being leaked out, data breach, and not being disclosed. So I'm coming from that angle. And I went on a little Instagram story. I'm not going to make this like a crusade. I'm not going to try to cancel him. I'm not going to like try to tear his business down. One, because I know I wouldn't be able to. Two, because like we're booming. It costs too much money to go that crazy with it. But anyways, I posted Instagram stories. I told people. I felt obligated too. I made a video talking about Snipe. I gave people a link to sign up to Snipe in my description in the video. I feel obligated to apologize to people who I exposed to that eventual data exposure, right? So I put a bow on it. I tidied it up by saying like, hey guys, I am reporting him to the FTC, to the IC3, to the New York Attorney General. I never tell people what to do, but it's like, hey, if you like me are kind of annoyed, kind of mad at what happened, and you want to report, here's the links to do it. So that's the backstory on what the Mexican hipster was talking about in his comment. I know that was a flurry of ranting and rambling, Nick. Anything to add or no?
No, not really. I never signed up for an account, luckily, so I didn't have to deal with all that. But it is wild how quickly that kind of got swept under the rug and forgotten about.
Have you been getting more spam phone
peep about that now?
Have you been getting more spam phone calls lately? I'm not even joking. I have been.
No. Really?
I gave them my phone number. I gave them your name and your phone number. You were one of my references. They have your name and your phone number. Yeah.
No, I haven't been getting any more calls than normally. If I do, I'm going to blame you though now.
Yes. I mean, yes. Like it is a statement of fact that your name and your phone number were included in that breach. I apologize. I used you as a reference, but like literally everything, every bit of data that you shared with Snipe was compromised, and not a peep. There are legal requirements federally, statewide. Some states it's more lax. Some states it's 60 days, 90 days, whatever. I believe New Jersey. Let me look up New Jersey data breach.
That's true because he's in New Jersey, so maybe they have longer.
I feel like I looked it up before, but I'm pretty sure it's 30 days. 30 days. 2020 law reduced it to 30 days from 45 days, and it is calendar days. It's not business days, it's calendar days. So he is actively the most expedient time possible without unreasonable delay. Yeah. So it's he's breaking the law. So the New Jersey Identity Theft Prevention Act, what is personal information? They define it: account number, credit card number, debit card number, username, email address, any other account holder identifying information in combination with, it's not an opinion. It is not subjective. It is an objective statement of fact. I'm like I said, I'm not gonna go on a crusade with this. I'm not gonna talk about this in every video all the time. When I'm asked about it in live streams, I will frankly answer it all. But it sucks. Nobody cares. On to the next thing. We are already, how many drama cycles are we past Snipe? That was 40 days ago, 45 days ago.
Snipe, PSA. No,
PSA.
Snipe, the first PSA, the PSA changing 9s to 10s. Then PSA buying, or collectors buying Beckett. Now you got Rattle on his crusade against the PSA 10 illustrator. Have you? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been looking at his stuff more. But every time I go on Instagram, the first post I see is one of his involving the PSA 10 illustrator.
I think it's because they're getting a lot of engagement. And yeah. But what's your thoughts on that whole thing? Well, let's pivot right from one drama to another. Again, for the uninitiated, I'll give a quick synopsis. Logan Paul bought a PSA 10 illustrator. He bought it from Dubsy. He paid $4.275. No, he paid $4 million and traded a PSA 9 illustrator that they valued together at $1.275 million. So it was a $5.275 million trade. He created Liquid Marketplace. I don't know all the particulars, timeframes, and all that stuff, but he fractionally sold the illustrator on Liquid Marketplace, and he sold 51% of it. So he actually made a big thing about the platform is going to be the majority owners, and you'll be able to control when it's sold, if it's sold, this, that, the other thing. And all that's just poof, gone. I don't know, to be open, honest, transparent. I don't know if anyone got money back. Maybe, I don't know if some amount of refunds happened or didn't happen, but allegedly, it sounds like what Rattle's saying is I think there's a lot of people that have not been made whole from the whole Liquid Marketplace thing. So he's tagging Golden, he's tagging eBay, he's tagging Logan Paul. Hey, what's up, guys? You're selling an illustrator that's partially not yours anymore. It's owned by the Liquid Marketplace people, right? I think there's active litigation going on in Canada. I think there's a Canadian, Ontario. Again, I saw some of his posts on Instagram. So I think there's an active claim being made in Canada somewhere towards it. But yeah, that's the synopsis. Nick, what are your thoughts on that? And then I'll give mine.
I think it's cool. I don't think it's that cool. Well, first, hopefully, I'm like you. I don't know the whole status of the Liquid Marketplace thing. So hopefully, all those people have gotten paid or will get paid. But then the actual sale of the card itself, I honestly don't think it's going to go anywhere close to what they valued it at the first time. It'll be really interesting auction to watch. But I can't see it going to $5 million, $6 million. I would be absolutely shocked if that happened.
Ray says, Dan, say in my opinion and allegedly, just in case you're wrong, my friend.
God, I mean, don't be
no,
one of those people, Ray.
No, That's so I was careful about Liquid Marketplace because I genuinely don't know. I talked to Rick on the phone and he lied. He lied to me. Like I am not holding back anything. Again, I'm not gonna like be shouting this from the rooftops every day forever. I did my one story blast. I did a reel that will be out there eternalized. But I'm not shying down from like this guy lied to me. If and when, like, I hope it doesn't become content. I hope I don't get sued and all that. But it's like, if that happens, I guess I find out more about the legal system. And please no, like, please, I hope not. Historically speaking, there's been a lot of people that have gone after Rick for all his shilling and all that stuff. And I don't think I've ever heard of him suing anyone. So hopefully I'm not the first, but we'll see what happens. Like, yeah, I mean, he's blatantly lying. I have actual concrete proof because I have a Russian hacker or whatever that has given me and verified my information. They gave it props to them, props to the hacker, which is crazy to say, but like props to the guy who has the data. Nick, like I used you as my reference. It was like NI star star star. Your first name is Nicholas. I'm not going to say your last name, but it was like the first letter of your last name, star star, the fourth letter of your last name, the appropriate amount of, like, it was your name. He had your name, and it was, I opened up my phone and it was area code star star this, like, it was your name and your phone number. I have definitive smoking gun, like, conclusive evidence that data was leaked, data was breached, all this stuff. I guess the only thing that I could potentially leave open is, like, when I was filling out the forms on the New York Attorney General website, they specified that it had to have affected at least 500 New Yorkers, I think. Was it 500 New Yorkers? I actually said, I put in 500 and I estimate. I said, this is an estimate. I'm a dude. I have no way of knowing how many people registered for Snipe. But I put, like, at the end of the complaint, you had a form that you could type. I gave them the link to E4. I said, like, hey, guys, I apologize if it was only 50 people. But it could have been 5,000 people for all I know that live in New York. I just said, like, I'm disclosing to you a data breach that I know have to have happened. And theoretically, maybe it was so small that he skirts under the New York and the New Jersey. Like, that's the only thing. He might be able to skirt under, like, oh, well, I only lost X amount of people's worth of data, and there's actually exemptions for, like, very small data breaches. Maybe that's a thing. That's, like, the only caveat, the only fence setting that I'll do. But everything else, I'm concrete, like, definitive. As far as I understand the law, he broke it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, well, you talked a little bit about the illustrator. I'm talking about, like, him selling it. Do you think anything will come of him selling it? Do you think all these battle posts and videos?
No, absolutely not.
And two things. Do you think they will cause it to be pulled? And then the other thing, do you think it should cause it to be pulled?
I don't think so. I don't think anything. They won't acknowledge it whatsoever. Nothing will come of it, and we'll move on to the next news cycle at some point soon. They're not going to pull the auction after having a whole Netflix episode within the series talking about it. There's no shot.
That would be wild. Kenny's in on this one pretty deep. I highly doubt that it will be pulled. Should it be pulled? I don't know the laws regarding all that. I don't know the particulars of Liquid Marketplace. But if people were genuinely scammed on Liquid Marketplace, if people that bought ownership into that, if people spent money on liquid tokens, whatever the hell they were called, and theoretically bought a fraction of that illustrator and have not been made whole, in my opinion, that thing should not be able to be sold. Remember another bit of drama too? You probably saw it on Instagram. What was it? Golden or Heritage was selling one of Marco's cards, and Marco traded those cards towards the Alpha, Beta, Omega, Delta scam prototype cards. Mm-hmm. He was tagging people and he was trying to get them to pull the auction. I don't think anything came of that. I think those sales like finalized, didn't they?
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
Like, Marco's probably not going to listen to this. I think he had less claim again, I don't know the laws and international. He's in like Italy and this isn't. But when trades are happened, it makes it more complex. But like this is the singular owner, Logan Paul, of the illustrator, of which he fractionally sold shares of. This is more clean, I think, because he's the guy who owns it. He's the guy who sold fractionally shares of it. If and when those people that bought into it weren't made whole, not a lawyer, but like I would think that he would not be able to sell that card. And it's a little bit yucky. It's a little bit gross that all this is going on. But again, see, nobody cares.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's genuinely what's going to be the outcome. Before that auction opens, there will be at least 1 or 2 new drama pieces. Before that auction closes, Golden runs it for like 4 weeks or something. Before that auction closes, there will be several more pieces of drama, and nobody cares. It's like I care about the snipe thing. I was affected by the snipe thing. I feel bad. I like part of why I'm going so hot on it too. It's like if it were just me with my data, it sucks. But it's like whatever. I got hacked in the Experian breach 10 years ago, and I've had my credit frozen since. I got wrecked with the Equifax Experian, whatever the hell they are. But I made a video about it, and I had, was it 10 people? Was it 100 people? I don't know how many people. At least 10 people though. I've had nearly 10 people reach out to me and say like, "Hey Dan," I had some people mad at me. I had some like, "What the hell, Dan? Why'd you make that video?"
You actually have people mad at you?
I had multiple people mad at me, like, if it wasn't for you, and they're not wrong. They're not. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have even known Snipe existed, and they wouldn't have gone and then created an account. They're not wrong. Like I got some people exposed to that.
You though.
To some extent, I feel obligated to like follow up, and if I hadn't made the videos, there are certain people that wouldn't have signed up. I like personal responsibility, do your own due diligence. Yes, all that stuff exists. But at the end of the day, it's like some people's data was exposed because they watched my video and they signed up through the link that I posted in my description. I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that at all. I don't feel good about having been lied to on the phone. That just feels grimy and gross. So again, like I might be asked about it in my live stream next week. I might be asked about it in my live stream 6 months from now. I'm not going to like post more videos on the matter unless 3 years from now, if someone goes to jail, it's like, oh, hey, like I might post some follow-up then, but highly doubtful, highly doubtful. Anyways, I knew it was going to come up today. The Mexican hipster, the victim blamer is the one to bring it up. So we had to have our snipe segment. Dan, my 3-year-old son just walked up to me, pointed at you, and asked, "Is that the bad man responsible for your data stolen?" Let's see. Shout out to the people that got mad at Dan. Good people in my book. Oh, that's hilarious. Don't bring Grimer into this when I said grimy.
Wow.
Oh man, that's funny. And that's a layer too that like I'm not even gonna touch. But like if and when an actual investigation happens, you think eBay would be a little bit nervous about it because like eBay had him on before, eBay's having him on after. If and when, again, not a lawyer, but like discovery and compelling eBay to hand over files, compelling Rick to hand over files, and what's he doing on eBay? Like that's all kind of scary and crazy. Zara Lurking says, how do people even feel safe dealing with him even on eBay? There's no telling what he's doing with your information behind the scenes. I will give one bit of credit to Probstein for something, an email interaction happened this morning before I posted those things. I sent an email and I just said like, hey, I'm very unhappy about how you lied to me on the phone. I literally said this. I posted my email to Instagram. I said like, you lied to me. My payment information was leaked. I said, end all my auctions. So basically like when the snipe breakup happened, I let him sell what he already had on hand because I didn't want to deal with all the mess. But like some amount got sold and I got paid and some got relisted. Probably because he bid them up, allegedly, supposedly, potentially. I don't know. He probably shilled my auctions up, won them himself on one of his Honey Bunny accounts, and then he's relisting them. So I got an email to relist like 2 weeks ago, and then another one. It's like, It's like, Rick, you're gonna win my item 3 times in a row, and you like, I don't want this to bridge into 2026. It is New Year's Eve. I sent him an email this morning. Within 15 minutes, I requested for 3 items to be delisted. I said, delist these, return them to me now, give me tracking, and send me all the remaining money you owe me by the end of the day. Like, I said that in an email. It was weird because, like, I sent one email, and then they actually emailed me separately, just independently. So then I replied to that email with my email I sent to Rick, and I added more to it. It's like within 30 minutes, I had an email with tracking. The listings were canceled, and I have the partial payment finalizing out my relationship with Probstein, ending in the calendar year 2025. So I will give him props towards, like, very expediently. And he read the email where I told him he lied to me. He read the email where I said, like, you broke the law and I'm not happy. I tagged him in a couple of the Instagram stories too, and I guess we'll see if anything comes of it. But I hope that does not turn into a series, but it will turn into a series if it has to. I think Rick's strategy for the past decades has just been ignore and make money. So they'll probably continue to be that.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna hear anything about it.
Dan, we lost all your personal information. Sorry about that, my friend. Information spelled with Y's. That was a cheeky thing I saw in some comment sections. It's like, hey, technically he wasn't shill bidding, SHILLBIDDING. He was only shill, SHYLL. There's no law against shill bidding, SHYLL, right? Does he, like, judges hate this one simple trick. No one bid, no one BID, no one bidded on his platform. Not one person. Everyone BYD bidded. So it's like, did Honey Bunny shill bid as it's written in the law? No. Honey Bunny SHYLLBYD'd. Loophole? Like,
no,
that does sound like a Simpsons or a South Park or a Family Guy. Like, it sounds like it's not real life. But at the end of the day, it's like, we're almost 1 hour in. I think we've been talking about this for like 30 minutes now. I think we do have some other questions. Let's try to move this segment behind us and talk about the year and the next year and happier, nicer things. Rick signed in and going into incognito mode, thinking that would make his bids a secret. Oh, man. Let me just make sure. I think I have. Let's close off this segment. Matty Ice says, I was one of the people who signed up with your video, but I'm not blaming you. Again, it would be...
that's what a normal person reaction would be.
But, like, yeah, again... I appreciate Matty Ice, you taking personal responsibility, all that stuff, but like it is not factually incorrect to state that some people had their data breached because I made a video they would not have otherwise in that alternate universe where I didn't make that video. So I don't feel good about it, and I feel morally obligated. I'm not legally obligated, but I feel morally obligated to apologize to Matty Ice and others affected. And I gave you all the links that I used myself, and if you care to use them, they're there. Maybe justice will be served. Maybe something will happen. And if and when, like maybe it starts with the data breach, and maybe it ends with shill bidding. Maybe the defense of not a lawyer Dan, maybe the defense of SHYLL does not hold up in court. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I cannot decide that. But honestly, like it would be karmic justice if in 5 years, very shady figure was toppled due to self-incriminating himself on this data breach. That would just be a funny way to bring down this $1 billion multi-decades alleged fraud, all that stuff. That'd be wild. Anyways, anything to close on Probstein before we hit an hour, and then we'll pivot out?
No, I'm good.
Nick's just here so he doesn't get sued. So we tried this last episode. I pulled up the address of 2 addresses I found on Millennium Print Group. This was when we had Retro on 2 weeks ago. The footprint on the 2 facilities that I found via Google Maps were significantly smaller than 1 million square feet combined. So like, that's not like objective statement of fact. That's highly speculative guesstimations using Google Maps. But the best I can say is like, I think 1 million square feet is very substantial. I think it would be enough footprint to double their print facility, to double their print runs. But we don't know that all this is going to be used for printing cards. Are they going to be making Lego in there? Are they going to be making the packaging? Are they going to be making the plastic? Are they going to in-house some of the sleeve production from China, some of the dice production from China because of tariffs? Like, we have so many unknowns. And then there are times where like a building plans on being built. The building might not even get built. Some kind of environmental regulations, some amount of like change in the broader market. Like, just because it's proposed doesn't mean it will actually be built in entirety in the way that it's being described. So there's so many unknowns around it that, yeah, we'll have to wait and see to some extent.
There has to be more that we didn't see with your quick Google Maps images.
There probably is.
It looked that was pretty small. I was thinking it'd be a lot bigger already, but yeah, it'll be definitely a massive addition.
We've got a lot of helpful questions, a lot of great questions to pivot off the drama. Phantasmal Flames has Charizard. Invest now, right? Me personally, too rich for my blood, above MSRP, less than a couple months old. I'm passing. How about you, Nick? You going all in?
Stick with what you know, Ray. Your Japanese and Korean cards. This is what happens when you try and venture into English.
Walrus wants to know, should I buy Evolving Skies at 3K or is a reprint coming?
Reprints here. Reprints coming.
I hear they have 1 million square feet of new print facilities, and it may or may not be for only printing Evolving Skies. I don't know that, but I'm just asking the question. Is 1 million square feet of print facilities solely for printing Moonbreons? Grey felt hats, maybe? McDonald's Pikachus? Question mark. And then one last hard-hitting great question. Can we go Moonbreon versus Sunbreon? Which one you got, Nick?
100%. I don't like the look of the Sunbreon. I don't necessarily like the Moonbreon either, but between the two of them, Moonbreon all the way.
I'm going Sunbreon because the pop is lower. Jason Page, the voice of a generation, sang a song about it, and it's worth more money. So all the fundamentals align to go Sunbreon. It's obvious.
Are you? No, that's a terrible take. That's awful.
My actual answer is neither.
Song about it by Jason Page automatically means it's the worst of the two cards.
But yeah, my actual answer is pass on both. Here's one. Stephen Kassoon is very eager. I still haven't started Stephen Kassoon from 30 minutes ago, but he re-asked, on a scale of 1 to 69, how bullish are you on 151? I'm 69 bullish on 151.
I'm going to go 67 just because I never am able to use that phrase.
There we go. That's how bullish we are. If people have more questions, feel free to leave them. I am still wrapping up on some questions asked over half an hour ago.
These dumb questions. Let's start with good ones. Sorry, Steven.
Basic. I wanted to highlight this one, not so much for the question itself, but because it's a basic trainer sighting. Is it a 1-year anniversary of his 24-hour stream? Or is it like a 2-year, 3-year anniversary of his 24-hour stream? I can't even remember when that was.
It can't. No, it's not. He didn't do it last
2 years.
year. I was
2 years, I think.
here already, so it has to be 2 years.
Yeah. Shout out to Basic. As per my video Monday, I am short plastic. I am long cardboard. So I'm holding a lot of cardboard, very little plastic.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say the same. But yeah, I do agree. We need Basic to return to YouTube. I feel like I haven't talked to him in forever.
Nick just 6'7". That is the toppest of all top signals. Good luck to Timmy McGee from the PokeFlips podcast applying to his dream job in 2 weeks. Hope you get that.
Hey, that's exciting.
As
Good
long as
luck.
said dream job better carve out the afternoon every other Thursday for you to be in Pokeflips Live. If the dream job will not allow you to be in Pokeflips Live on Thursday afternoons, I don't know. I'm not loving it, but good luck. Good luck. Would Dan ever be interested in using his data from live ripping to collaborate with a researcher to publish a research paper or pass? It would depend on what data, but definitely reach out to me, McGee. I know we've discussed this a little bit in the past, but disclaimer, Dan always just needs to give so many caveats and disclaimers. And even though I have pretty good data for the whole year of 2025 on pack sales on the Fanatics platform with PK and Ponga, it's like I just need to give so many caveats and disclaimers. But yeah, reach out if you actually want to do that. Depending on the format you want the data, I'll probably just chuck it to you.
You're gonna have
some
so
more
many
questions.
little stars and asterisks.
Yeah. Can I ban anyone that mentions 6'7" in chat? I mean, nobody has ever.
You're out of here.
We're gonna ban Nick from the podcast to resolve that because nobody's mentioned it ever, and only Ray has since Nick said it. And you were the second mention, so the old self ban would be required if I were to put that out there. Here we go. So here's a bunch of new questions coming in. We'll start at the top. Parish Plays wants to know, what is one New Year's resolution or goal for 2026 for each of you, either in business or personal life? You want to go first, Nick?
My big one is actually, well, I've said it for years and it's never happened, but I would like it to happen this year. So maybe 2026 is my year. But just getting more organized. In terms of like the finance side of things. Actually opening Excel every now and then and playing with some numbers. Because I am just awful with that type of stuff. So I do need to get better with it. And so I'm hoping to do that this year, is just being more organized, keeping track of financing, stuff like that a lot better. That's probably my biggest one. And then also now that the live streaming is going pretty solid, I want to get focused on like the eBay store side of things again. So actually get that up and running again and have cards listed on there too. So I would say those are my two big goals for 2026.
Business-wise, organization is massive for me. I've gone through ebbs and flows. I've had my garage entirely cleaned out. I've had my basement entirely cleaned out. And then the boom the year was just buying things left and right and stashing things away. It's like I've built a new backlog. I've built a new it's not firmed up yet. The plans aren't entirely, the plans are just in the early stages, but I have an outbuilding. It's a two stall detached garage. I plan on in 2026 knocking that down because it's not weatherproof. It's built incorrectly. It's just a terrible little shack that I just store outdoor stuff in. But I'm going to build a little warehouse. And using that warehouse, I want to become significantly more organized. A lot of my stuff is like outside of my own walls. A lot of my stuff is in the Fanatics vault and the eBay vault to some extent. And it's at consignment services and it's with my live streamers. But still, I just have a lot of clutter, a lot of bulk, a lot of like stupid stuff too. Like I have almost floor to ceiling in my basement, 4 rows of like the sealed 45 card energy packs from ETBs.
Oh God.
Help me, Nick. Help me, Nick. I have a problem. I have like if someone, please don't. I have cameras. I have a lot of stuff to prevent anything from happening. But if someone came to my house to steal stuff, oh my God, they would grab a 4 row, like, oh, hey, these are probably all like Evolving Skies packs or Metazoo 2 Torrential Tides bulk non-hollows. Like, actually just, my family and I last week, we mass ripped a bunch of new zoo. But like I keep all the non-hollows that are worth almost nothing. I have non-hollows of the OG zoo. I have boxes almost the size of me filled with ETB dice and filled with condition markers and filled with like, I can't throw stuff away. Well, one, I physically, like, my garbage isn't big enough to take everything that I would generate every week, but I just like hoard it. And I need to get rid of a lot of that stuff. I'm going to like, if I can find people to take it for just shipping, I will just ship people a pallet of just garbage. Pay me $500. Pay me $500 and I will ship you a lifetime supply of like ETB accessories. I'll throw in a couple things to make it worth your while. Some Charizard playmats or something. But no, like business wise, that's a same one for me, getting more organized. And then personally, last year I did it actually. I had a goal of like getting down to the whole dunking thing, getting down to a certain weight, and I've gotten bad. I've not been doing the morning exercises in several months, and I'm back up heading like I'm 235 and heading back up. So I'm 10, 15 pounds over where I bottomed out at. I want to get back sub 230 where I was before. Where the weird thing is, like, I don't even feel worse. I don't feel heavier. I don't feel like bad in any way from it, but I know it is bad. So I want to get back on that. I want to get back down to like 225 or so and stay there. But so there's a personal and a business. Kiki says, do you feel like most people use just dollar cost average as an excuse for FOMO buying? Absolutely. I think a lot of people use like investing and it's worth something. A lot of people use all of that as justification to buy more than they're comfortable with or should be comfortable with, generally speaking, too. So, yes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I never thought of it like that, but yeah, I can definitely see it. I can definitely see people using that terminology.
How do you feel about graders at PSA being paid less than the price of one single card through bulk? Did you see that recent video? A video like just dropped this morning, I think. So, remember, you know, we interviewed a current PSA grader. The video was too hot for YouTube. We interviewed a current major grading card company grader, XYZ grader. Oh, God. We interviewed a current XYZ grading card company grader, and the video was too hot for YouTube. We didn't post it. A former PSA grader, not XYZ grader like we interviewed, a former PSA grader actually did an interview with some sports card guy. It was like 20 minutes long, nothing dramatic. He talked about his NDA in it. And he's like, I can only answer certain questions. So it was like fairly tame questions, nothing revolutionary, whatever. Revelatory, I think is the word I was looking for. Sounds like you didn't see that, but like nothing really came of it. Nothing really came of it. And like we talked to an actual current, some company that no one would guess or know ever. We spoke with a current one, and like honestly, people like tinfoil hats and conspiracies, and people want to hear that like they're being scammed and schemed, and like we just talked for half an hour about like an actual scam, scheme, drama, whatever. Like if and when it happens, I will talk about it. But like in our conversations with XYZ grading card employee, there was no big revelation on like pop control or any of these things that people want to have confirmed. None of them were confirmed. So it's like it was more of a boring video than people would realize or appreciate or enjoy. The biggest revelations that came out of it is like they're not paid very much. They don't look at your cards very long, and they're very inconsistent. Like that's all it is. Nothing. No revelations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't exciting. No juicy gossip in it. But yeah, no, I do think that'd be kind of depressing. I don't think I could ever be a grader. Just looking at the same card over and over and over and over again. I think I would get so sick of that.
Yeah, 700 cards a day. Like the first day, it sounds like it would be cool. Oh, like 52 Mantles and T206 Wagners and expectation versus reality. Oh, another 100 Burger Chews. Oh, another 100 Big Mac and Chews. Oh, another 100 Phantasmal Flames, whatever's. Like, it would be mind-numbing. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, like, we're all humans here. We're all mostly human here, at least. All the conspiracies to some extent, like, are true. They're all true to some extent. Like, but the consistency is what misses. Like when people frame their subs with the good ones in the back and not Japanese and English together, and like, to some extent, all that stuff works because we're humans. It's like, do you think there's times where they've got a meeting with their buddies for lunch out somewhere, or they've got some tasty chicken wings and pizza in the cooler for lunch, and they've got like, oh, they can't take lunch until they're done with these 50 Burger Chews. We know there's times where they just and then there's also times where like, oh, hey, there's 50 Burger Chews. One guy will just hold the 10 button. One guy will, let me throw a 9 on the 7th and 22nd and 38th Burger Chews. We know stuff like that happens. There are major studies out there about how judges hand down harsher punishments in like criminal trials, criminal sentencing. There's studies where judges give harsher sentencing like right before lunch than immediately after lunch. That's crazy. Like the stakes are actually high there. The stakes are kind of high here too financially, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's cardboard. It's cardboard that people are encapsulating with like a number on it at the end of the day. Like it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter. But like to some extent, putting a chewed up, spit out PSA 1 in front of that card that's borderline 910, to some graders that probably works. To some graders that might turn your card into an 8 or an 8.5. So it's like to some extent all the conspiracies are kind of true, but none of them consistently enough to actually do anything with. But yeah, the job would be miserable. Imagine every day you go in and you cannot clock out until you grade 700-800 cards. Or Nick, maybe 600-700 cards. There are quotas, they're measured, they're monitored. And one of the questions that was asked, it's like, does PSA care more about speed or accuracy?
Oh, 100%.
We know the answer. We know the answer. Come on. Like, he asked it, like, but the guy like kind of pushed it. Oh, well, both to an extent. If you're in there grading with 10 times the accuracy, 10 times the precision, consistency of the guy next to you, and you're only grading half as many cards, you think you're lasting in the grading room? No. Which again, ultimately, like, going back to my video Monday, it's what we demand as a consumer base. It's not even unreasonable what they're doing. I'm not even mad at them for doing it. Like, we're happy with the product. We collectively, as a market, we are thrilled. We cannot, like, we are falling over ourselves to pay $20+ a card to have our cards encapsulated and graded and third-party opinion rendered. So it's like, I don't think they're doing anything wrong. I don't agree with like the entire market. I'm just very counter to the general thoughts on it. So like I just sell. I sell. Hopefully the Rams, because I have them. I have financial incentive for the Rams to win. Pong is my friend. I want Pong to be happy. So
no, gotta go Patriots. We're finally doing well.
It better not be the Patriots.
Oh, we need another.
It better not be the Patriots or the Bills. Anyone except the Patriots or the Bills.
They're finally doing good this year.
Yes, 6 is afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. But yeah, nothing revelatory came from that. Nothing revelatory came from when we spoke with some mysterious company's active grader, who still, as far as I know, actively works there. Here we go. Couple nerds. I'll let you go first, Nick, because I do have some videos out there on the topic, and we don't get to hear from you on YouTube. Is that going to change in 2026? Are you going to revive the YouTube or no?
No, I don't think so. Instagram will get better at posting on Instagram, but YouTube, no, I don't think so.
I don't believe Instagram either, honestly. I'll believe it when I see it.
Easy enough. You just got to post it.
It is, but you still won't do it.
I know. But we're starting fresh. We got a whole fresh year to start. What better time?
You won't do it. You won't.
I think I will.
Couple Couple minutes says, how do y'all feel with the rise of all the mystery packs? Where do you think this is headed? Not a fan, but so many new companies came up overnight.
I liked, whose video was I watching the other day? I completely forget whose video that was. Oh God! But whoever you were, I liked your take. Now I feel bad. Who's
start describing it?
It was he was saying that 2026 will be more of the same, but at some point down the road, all like the power packs, where they buy back. So people open mystery bags and
was it
they
Brian's?
sell off all the duds. So at some point down the road, all these companies are going to have like a ton of dud cards, but not enough good cards. So that's going to kind of collapse the market on like your junk slabs. Earn.
I think it wasn't.
That's who it was. Okay. I really liked that take. I thought that was a really good take, and I can definitely see that happening. So I thought that was a really good take on that. But yeah, mystery packs in general, I do think they are getting really good. I like the way that they're being more transparent about exactly what you can get, like the way Fanatics does it, the power packs, all that type of stuff, as opposed to just some random dude on Whatnot claiming that you can get whatever card is the chase. So I really like that direction of it. I think they're definitely here to stay. Nothing in that aspect is going to change. People really like the gambling aspect of Pokemon, and that is a really good gamble, as opposed to like gambling with booster packs or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of what I think. And Tavo, thanks for joining us. Appreciate the super chat.
Tavo. Thanks, Tavo, for the super chat. Yeah, and shout out to Ern for that video. I do remember that video now that chat said it. So thanks, chat. Me personally, I am very much, and I always have been, consistent message around like trust, transparency, all that stuff. I've done box breaks in the past where like I guaranteed hollows on the heavies, and I tell people the lights are lights and no hollow, all that stuff. I made a video, and the video was not popular. Some people hate mystery packs, and I genuinely, this robot does not compute, because I will give a TLDW of my video in like 60 seconds. The EV of things like this, the EV of booster packs is like 20 to 50% depending on the set. And the EV of the worst mystery products out there, digital ones that are fully transparent, and Fanatics actually does the transparency better than GameStop. And I'll shout out a friend here too, GalaxyGrails.io. He has even more transparency than Fanatics. He actually has an algorithm that's like using the blockchain, Chainlink, provably fair. Like he has outsourced his randomization so that it is like verifiably with the blockchain, provably fair. I'm not smart enough to understand how that all works tech-wise, but like smarter people than me have verified that that's like a thing. So I like instant rips. I like Galaxy Grails. Power packs is a little bit less transparent. They show you what you can hit on the upside, but they don't show you the floors. They don't show you the junk stuff that Ern was talking about. So I think some are doing it better than others. But overall, they're significantly better than booster packs. It's just weird. Oyama and Jarchomp were actually talking about this too. And Jarchomp had a good thought, had a good conversation around like, he doesn't love them. He doesn't love instant rips. And he thinks for some, like, these are like more pure and real. And I think that's a general sentiment. But it's like, why is Pokemon, they own the IP, and I get all that. But like, why does Pokemon get away? And I know they don't set the secondary market prices that yield the products having 20 to 50% EV. But like, why do they get away with 20, 30, 40% EV. And then these companies who are fully open, honest, transparent, putting a product out there that no one has to buy. It's like, hey guys, instant rips exist. Someone's probably live right now on my Fanatics channel. I'm going to look. Bierski is live right now. You can go there and you can buy from him, but you don't have to. No one's forcing you to. No one's forcing anyone to. So it's like, if you do buy from him, 95% EV, don't even trust me. Like, it based off card ladder values, it will tell you. It will tell you. And then they'll offer you 90% buyback that you don't have to take. I think Fanatics does it. I've never bought one because it would be weird to sell them and also buy them. And if I somehow hit something big, it's like, I'm not going to touch that. So I've never bought one. But I think Fanatics offers a straight 90% credit buyback that you can buy other things with. GameStop does like a 90% buyback, but then a 6% fees or whatever. Maybe Fanatics has that. Somebody let me know in chat if they know. I don't even know if Fanatics has the fee tacked onto it too. But it's there. It's transparent. It's you don't have to worry. Was it weighed? Was it piped? Was it CT scanned? It's like it's just you click a button, you spin a wheel, and if people say it's too gambly for them, it's all gambling. It's all gambling. It's all always been gambling. You know what's not gambling? But buying a playing card deck. You go and you buy a playing card deck, you're gonna get 2 jokers, you're gonna get 13 cards each of 4 different suits, ace through king. That's boring. People don't want that. Well, funny I say that. Like, people grade those Pokemon ones and they go for stupid amounts of money. But if they sold for any, if they sold the 102 card set, Pokemon wouldn't be what it is today. It is what it is today, largely in part because it's gambling, and it always has been. It always has been. Like, love it or hate it, that's just truth. That's just objective statement of fact. So if others decide to do it, open, honest, transparent, I see no issue with that. If adults decide to spend their adult money and engage with the product, a product that, like, and I characterize it this way in my video too. I sold over $1 million of instant rips this year. I sold over $1 million of pack rips this year. And shout out to PKM Ponga and Spat and Grimer and Bierski. The one that I just said. The one that I just said was the one escaping me. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna miss somebody. Sky did a little bit too. Some Metazoo throughout the year, but I got everybody. We ripped over $1 million each of physical and digital rips. You know how much $1 million of instant rips cost our consumer? Like if they sold everything back, say on average it was 90%, and they sold it all back. Say on average it was 85%, and they sold it all back. 85% times 0.9. That's nearly 80%. Let me just get the actual number. It is 76.5%. So it cost them 235,000 consumer dollars have evaporated to buy those instant rips. Worst case, everything sold back on average estimate. You know how much $1 million in physical pack rips cost the consumer? We hit 3 God packs this year, but like $1 million of physical pack rips, the consumer paid $700,000 probably for that. And then if they wanted to get liquidity back, oh, you guys pulled trash from me. You pulled nothing from me. They can't just click a button and sell it back. Now they got to sell it back for 70% or 80% or whatever. And to be fair, they could grade a Grail, they could grade a 10, and they could make money. Like they could absolutely make money. But overall, it's like it's multiple times more expensive to the consumer in expected loss. So it's like, where is the victim? Who is the victim? Now, that said, do people engage with instant rips and power packs and Galaxy Grails and whatever else in an unhealthy way? Potentially. That sucks. I wish people wouldn't. Look at my channel. Like, I've been saying the same message for a long time. Please don't spend money that you've not budgeted for, that you can't afford to lose, yada, yada, yada. I promise you, I don't love it. Some amount of the money that we sold this year to people buying these, so some amount of them, long enough time frame, and not even just my channel, but like Whatnot and eBay Live and everything. There are people buying this year on platforms that are divorced from their spouses over their spending problem, over their gambling problem on physical packs and in digital packs alike. That sucks. I wish those people would seek help and not destroy their lives financially in those ways. Does Instant Rips have the ability to maybe do it a little bit quicker? I guess, because you can buy and sell, but like you can just spend 50 grand on a regular stream anyways, right? So it's like if you've got a credit limit of 50 grand, we have 50 grand of product every time PK and Ponga and everyone goes live. I promise. Like we have that much of physical product every time they go live and then some. So it's like, is Instant Rips worse because they can spend 50 grand and then sell it back for 45 grand and then spend 45 grand again? Like theoretically with 50 grand, people could spend like 300 grand on Instant Rips, but it might be the same 50 grand. If they buy physical packs, they do it one time, a week later in the mail, they get stuff that now they have to sell for 70 or 80%. So it's like they're both really bad if people are abusing themselves financially with the products. So I think, Nick, you're generally on the same side. I would love someday to have like a debate with somebody who thinks that these things are just like so terrible for the hobby and so terrible for everyone. Because I think I could put them in a tight spot in the debate if they tried to say like this good, that bad, or whatever. I think I could make people show some hypocrisy in their weak arguments, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add on that or no?
No, I think we covered that one pretty good.
Let's see. Mattia says, Dan, mind explaining more on your Instant Rips model? Good timing. I'm curious if we potentially have the same outs, plugs, buying at whatever percent and offloading for 88 to 92%. I'm curious if we potentially have the same outs, plugs, buying at whatever percent and offloading for 88 to 92%. I probably say more than I should oftentimes on YouTube and such, but there are not many people who sell directly to GameStop, I don't think. I do not myself sell directly to GameStop. I know there are not many that sell directly to Fanatics. I sell directly to Fanatics. Do I sell for the best rates anyone sells to Fanatics? I don't know. That is one thing that is too hot for YouTube, too hot for console. I won't disclose exactly the rate at which I sell to Fanatics. It could change any day. But I've sold to them several times at a very solid rate. The rate at which I sell to them allows me to pay 80, 85 on certain slabs above $1,000. I'm actually paying 90% of Card Ladder. So if you're interested in selling to me, not all of them go into Instant Rips, but some of them do. Some of them I sell in Fanatics. Some of them I send to streamers to sell. Some of them I do different things with. But many of my outlets are one outlet that is Fanatics Instant Rips. And it's literally just like buy at percent, sell at higher percent, iterate many times. It's yeah, like that's what buy it wholesale, sell it retail. Like that's in a different fashion. It's what a lot of people do. So yeah, if you're interested, Matty Ice, in selling, I might be able to beat your current outs. Maybe not though, too. I don't know. Kino wants to know, is 2026 a buyer or seller's market? Cheers and tremendous new year. You take it first, Nick. I actually have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
A buyer or a seller market? I'm gonna continue it as a seller market. I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see like a crash that we saw with 2021 this year. Like we were talking about earlier with the anniversary and how good the mega sets are and all that stuff. So I think it'll be more of the same this year, and it'll be more of a seller market than a buyer market. But then at the same time, I do think there is like some opportunity to be a buyer as well. Like I'm still more of a seller, but I'm still a buyer even in this market. But yeah, overall, definitely seller for sure. Wait for Dan to leave me with a terrible question too. There was a good question someone had. What was it?
Nick, I'm back. Hold on.
You left me with a terrible question, Dan.
How's that a terrible question? Here, I have more nuance. I have more ranting to do on that question than Nick did. It's both. 2025 was both a buyer's and seller's market. Generally speaking, I sold more than I bought. I am entering 2026 the most liquid I've ever been. And I think in the early part of 2026, I'm going to get even more liquid. I could be wrong, but I think we have lower to go with certain things. But always, it's a diverse market. If you're talking ultra modern sealed that came out since 2025, I am selling. I'm holding almost nothing. I'm holding 4 cases of everything because I could be wrong, but I have sold and am selling almost everything I have. If and when the prices start going down, I will become a buyer on those sets because I don't have a whole lot of them. I have 4 cases of Destined Rivals. If and when I'm correct and the price goes down a lot, I'm talking 50% a lot or more, 60, 70% almost, I will buy a lot more. So it will be both. In 2025, I bought and sold more than I've ever sold in any year prior. Bought and sold in any year prior. In 2026, I'm going to do more than I did in 2025. I could be wrong. Maybe that doesn't pan out, but I think I will. So it's both. It's always both, depending on what you're looking at. I bought, like I said, I bought a PSA 10. I bought like a PC card, long-term inventory. I'm not going to actually PC it. I will sell it someday. But I bought a PSA 10 Burn Tower. Relative to everything else going on, it just feels cheap. That's not me pumping it. That's just me saying something that I did and telling you why. I think it feels cheap because I sold them for more than that. I sold like 4 or 5 Burn Towers back in 2020, 2021 for like $4,000 to $6,000 a piece. And the card is less than that today. That just feels crazy for one of my favorite arts in the hobby. So yeah, it's both. It's always both, in my opinion. On net, though, if I had to guess,
just have a long-winded answer for what I said.
On net, I think I'll sell more in 2026. I think I will be a net seller in 2026. Not by a whole lot, though. If the prices go down, though, if I'm fully correct, I will be a net buyer. If I'm fully correct and Destin does go under MSRP and all these sets do go under MSRP, I'll be a net buyer for sure. So it could be either. It's definitely going to be some amount of both, though.
So you're not going to be a net buyer then? Because Destin is not going that low.
Here we go. Krabby's cards with a 2-parter. 1 of 2. You sell a $250+ card and have to send it to them for authentication on eBay. You sell a $1,000 booster box and you YOLO it with no protection for buyer or seller. Do you think that every booster box / case over $1,000 should be CT scanned for authentication purposes before being shipped to the customer? So basically, should eBay instate some authenticity guarantee for sealed product?
Ooh, I think it'd be really nice if they did. I can't see it ever happening. I think there's just way too much of a cost involved for that to be a thing. Plus, I also think it's easy enough to not get scammed. Maybe you got to buy from trusted sources, and I think that's the biggest thing. The most like obvious people getting scammed are the ones who are buying booster boxes for a too good to be true price, or buying them like Walrus sent me a link for Phantasmal boxes, and first off, the price was way too good to be true. Second off, the guy had like 1 feedback, and then third off, it was someone in Pakistan. So you obviously know that's going to be a scam. But I think if you buy from reputable sellers, I think overall you're gonna be good. So I don't think it's as important as like the card authentication is.
I've been saying for a while on my channel and a little bit on PokeFlips that there are new sealed consignment services coming in early 2026, maybe later 2026 than I desire. But I have a little bit of insider info on some happenings at various platforms, and more options are coming. And I need to be... More options are coming. That's what I'll say. More things could be coming and developing in 2026 on this front. I know enough about some things that are in the works that I can't really speculate fully on what I think might happen additionally, because I'll give away what and I know things that are like planned. I don't necessarily know if they'll get there, but I've been saying it for a while, and when it comes more to the public, I will talk more about the sealed consignment options and sealed authentication type things and all that stuff. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, all that good stuff that proper YouTubers say for more information. Let's see. I'm starting a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions coming through. Appreciate you guys. Ending the year strong. Dan, come off the fence. Predict the price of Evolving Skies in 10 years. It is currently somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. 10 years. It is currently 5 years old. It'll be 15 years old. Current sets that are 15 years old. 2010 is like Heart Gold, Soul Silver era, right? Those boxes are like 10, 15, 20 grand, somewhere in there. I think it'll be $10,000.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Dan, only a 5X? What are you talking about, you bear? Like, people are so funny. So 10K is your prediction as well?
I was gonna say around 10,000, yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to star. There's so many questions here. I'm trying to not miss them all. That was a quick one. Dan, what are your thoughts on Pete Alonso leaving? I'm a Mets fan. I'm not an amazing Mets fan. I did not know Pete Alonso was leaving, so I don't have any thoughts on it whatsoever. I'm admittedly like every year I'm a worse and worse sports fan in general. The Rangers are playing right now. Actually, I have them on. They're right here. I don't want to get our YouTube demonetized or whatever. I can't turn the thing and show you guys, but the Rangers have 8.5 minutes to come back against the Capitals. The most I watch is the Rangers, and then the Jets, and then the Mets I only watch in October if they make it, which is very rare. So even the Jets, like I don't watch a Jets game. I watch Red Zone, which they do not frequently appear on. So the only time, like they just played the Patriots, they appeared on Red Zone 8 times, I think, giving up like 8 touchdowns to the Patriots. So sometimes they appear on Red Zone in a bad manner. But yeah, I'm not like baseball is my lowest fandom by a significant margin. I have no thoughts. I'll tune in October if they're there. Otherwise, I'll check the standings here and there a little bit. I'll wear my Mets shirts and be a fake fan, I guess. But I really do like them. I just, and even the Rangers, who I care about more, even the Jets, who I care about more, I don't pay attention to offseason stuff. I don't have ESPN. Back in high school, back in college, I used to wake up every morning and watch SportsCenter, and I'd watch all the different shows they have on SportsCenter, all the different roundtable discussions, and I can't even remember the names of the segments anymore. But I used to watch First Take and all those different things. I just don't engage with it anymore.
You're better than me. I didn't even know who that person was.
Yeah, I know who he is, but yeah, that's not much more. Stephen Kassoon wants to know, will World's promos forever be underrated?
I don't think they are underrated. I think they're properly rated. I don't know. I've never been a fan of those. Yes, you have the cool artworks, but then all the different stamped versions. I don't get the massive premium that goes along with those. Once you get like above staff, because like staff, you have a stamped version, so it's kind of cool. But then anything above that doesn't really add that much coolness to it. Having like the top 32 or the championship or whatever stamps on it. I don't think it does.
I was not even half listening because I'm trying to scramble through the comments still. I'm trying to scramble through the comments and star all the questions. There's so many of them, it's crazy. But anyways, I like World's promos a lot. an exclusive card tied to an event. I like it a lot. The stamped promos. I heard you say stamp at one point. I don't know what you said about them, but I don't like them. I don't like variants. I've never been a reverse holo collector. I don't care about stamps. Staffs, like I just don't care. So I think those are not underrated. I think they're just not that interesting, not that exciting cards. One thing I hate about cards like that, there's like, I don't know how many top 32s and top 16s and quarterfinalists and extra copies though. I wish Pokemon would move to serialization with cards that's supposed to have a finite amount of release. I hate that they don't. I know that there are extra trophy cards. I know that there's probably extra staff stamp cards that weren't supposed to be printed and this and that. And crap, the Capitals just scored. But so I like the most base rarity, just the competitor pack that you get with like the 13 languages in it. That's my preference. I think they're fine. I think they're rated just fine. I think some of the stamp ones are like overvalued, so I sell them. I don't buy them. I sell them. And the Japanese ones, for a stint there, I think it was 2023. There was a stint where I was selling $9,000 PSA 10 2016 Japanese Worlds promos. The regular one the competitors got. They were outselling champion stamps. So were champion stamps at the time underrated relative to the PSA 10 Japanese? Yes, but I didn't like either. So I was selling both. I sold so many, like several, $6,000 to $9,000 PSA 10 Japanese 2016s. The 2019s, which is the year that I went to, so I had a lot of them. I sold so many $3,000-$4,000 2019 Japanese PSA 10 Worlds promos. That was crazy. That was a little before the waifu boom, I think, in 2023, if my time is correct on that one. But yeah, I don't think they're underrated at all. I think they're properly rated, if not slightly overrated for some of them. And that might be a painful answer to some people, but like, and I could be wrong. Like they could do crazy things in the future. I just don't like them.
So once again, you copied my answer.
Did I? Well, I didn't hear it, so I didn't do it intentionally. Stephen Kasoon wants to know, does the Phantasmal Flames SAR Zard crack your top 10 Zard artwork?
Top 10? It's top 5. I think it's easily top 5. I think it's got a chance to be. I think it's got a chance to be. I don't know if it'll ever be number 1. But maybe top 3. Maybe you can narrow. I don't know if it is a really, really good Charizard artwork, and it's easily top 5 for sure.
It's probably top 10. I don't know if I'd go top 5. I'm nostalgia glasses base set Charizard artwork is up there. I mean, come on, that's the classic. That's the OG. It's probably top 5 though, I guess. I'm terrible at ranking things. It's up there somewhere for sure. I hate ranking things. I see a funny question here. That's like a 3-parter that I have to put 3 different things on screen. So here's a Pong is just trying to get me to crap on other stream operators. Based on what you know about your business, do you think some streaming operations underpay their workers and capture too much profit, like corporate America? Obviously can't know what people pay, but based on certain Insta posts and stuff. And then he gives the thing that this was going to be my answer, my first answer. Ponga knows me too well. Sure, the workers are adults and agree to the pay, blah, blah, blah. So with that caveat and disclaimer there, I'm never going to tell someone how to run their business. It is very reasonable. If someone will stream for $20 an hour and they're an adult and they agree to $20 an hour, I don't care if the stream makes $100 an hour or $300 or $500 an hour. If someone's happy to stream for $20 an hour, it's reasonable to pay that, in my opinion. Adult agreed with adult for a certain amount of pay for a certain job, and that's what it is. I am very much like, this is not like political. It is a political party, but like libertarian. I'm very libertarian in that, like, as long as someone is not infringing on someone's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, like, who cares? Actually, I think I saw him in our chat a little bit ago. DJ's Poke Center. I was listening to one of his videos recently, just last night, I think. And he said, like, people are really weird sometimes on YouTube. It's like, when you watch a TV show that kind of sucks, it's like, you don't stand up at the TV and yell at, like, that sucked. What are you doing? Like, that ending, that show, that plot line, that, like, character. And if you did, no one would hear, and that's part of why you don't do it. But, like, it's so weird when people watch a YouTube video and then, like, feel the need to, like, just change it. Change the channel. No one's making you watch it. No one's making you watch it. So for people to go, like, you suck at YouTube. Who's this guy with the Charmander and the Swampletics behind him? That guy's a clown. Like, make him stop talking. Turn the channel, you moron. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that kind of stuff is crazy. So that whole rant, DJ's Poke Center ended his video like, guys, you were taught this 30 years ago, and so was I. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. Like it doesn't affect you. There are probably some people watching. If the video, if it's truly bad, people won't watch it and it'll go away. Not ignorance. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea. I can't help you out this time.
Bigger than putting someone down. Like, I'm thinking of Scrubs. Did anyone watch Scrubs with JD and Turk and you had Dr. Cox and his ex-wife Jordan? Jordan at one point said to JD, he said to her, "Why do you hate me?" She said, "I don't hate you. I nothing you." If you dislike, downvote, say in the comments, like this video sucks. More than that is, I can't think of the word, but just ignoring it. Ignoring it is more powerful than saying this sucks. Nothing. You need to nothing something. So that whole rant, that whole like side quest that I talked about there, I frankly don't care. I have no stake in what other businesses pay their streamers. I'm not affected by it. To consenting adults doing whatever they're doing, employer, employee, employer, W-2, independent contractor, whatever they are, like I frankly don't care. But for me, I care about me. I care about my independent contractors. I know that I pay my people a lot more than most people do. I know how much I make. I know how much the streams generate per hour, and I pay them what I and they deem fair together. We are me and I have 6 separate interactions. I have my interaction with PK, with Ponga, with Skya, with Spat, Grimer, and Bierski. And independently, we've had our discussions and we've all come to agreements on our terms, and I think they're extremely fair. I know that they're better than probably anyone out there. But I'm comfortable. The Rangers just got scored on again. This game's over.
Just give up on it.
I'm comfortable with my setup. I think it's entirely fair and reasonable and good for me. I know my overhead is obscenely low. I know that my arrangement with my streamers is so different from most other setups. So like there's leases involved, there's rent involved, there's different risks involved, and but yeah, so all that ranting and rambling to say, like, it doesn't affect me, so I don't care. But what Ponga said himself, that is the answer. It doesn't affect me. 2 adults consenting, it's fine. It's entirely fine. Yeah, I went all over the place on that one, as I do at times. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I pretty much agree with that. I don't know. The person who took the, like Ponga said, person who took the salary agreed to it. You're not being forced to do it. But yeah, so I would pretty much agree. I do think there's a lot more that goes into it than like just doing the streaming aspect, as you know, and Ponga knows and all that. It's not just streaming. There is, like, so you see a number, oh, you sold this much in the stream. I'm obviously not getting paid enough. But then you got to factor in all the time it takes to actually get those cards, look through those cards, ship those cards, and how much work is the streamer doing versus just like being on stream. So yeah.
Brad, I was pointing at this Charmander next to Swampletics, and not my logo. But Ponga, like, you knew I would answer that way because that is the answer. This is, the world would be a better place if more people didn't care and worry and incite drama and stuff. And before Brad says, Dan, you were just going on about Snipe. Snipe affected me. Snipe affected my followers, my people that I got into that situation, all that stuff. So it's like, I think the world is a worse place because people worry about what other people are doing when it has no effect on them whatsoever. Whether that's to do with instant rips, whether that's to do with other streamers' pay or whatever it may be. And there are some people that are affected. If you're a streamer and you think your boss is making too much and you're not making enough, it's like, have that conversation with your boss. There's a decent chance that it's funny that Ponga asked this because he's going to make me say this. I don't think my guys, my streamers like this when I say this, but like in many regards, they are overpaid. Like I am paying them so much more than they would likely accept. And it sounds so weird and dumb because I'm making money too. I'm making a lot of money too. I'm not trying to say like I'm going to slash their pay. I'm not trying to say that I'm like better than anyone. I'm not trying to say, but I'm taking extreme risk with PK and Ponga. They have all my stuff. Like part of my thought is like pay them really well. I don't have any thought or worry that they would steal from me, but it's like pay them really well so that they don't even have the thought of it. The risk of them trying to steal something would risk a massively high paying job. But yeah, there's so many angles to it. Everyone's situation is different. And I don't think it would be unreasonable. I could pay everyone half of what I'm paying them now. And the arrangements are different too, because PK and Ponga are more hourly and instant rips are hourly. And there's just a lot of different pay structures that I have with all the different guys. But I could probably pay half what I'm paying now. I could guaranteed pay half that I'm paying right now, and I could fill the slots. But like, in my opinion,
I think you could pay a lot less, but half.
I guarantee I could pay half. Going back to the Instagram posts, I know there are people paying less than half. So it's like, I guarantee I could cut the rates in half and I could fill with bodies. Would I get, I love the guys. I love my team. I think they are very good at what they do. I'm not saying I could replace them one-to-one. I think the guys that I have are very good at what they're doing. And think or not, like objective statement of fact, I know the profit that they're generating. I know the profit that they're generating and what portion of it goes to me and what portion of it goes to them. And I'm very happy with the splits. I'm very transparent with the splits. Very few, I'm not going to say boss because I'm not a boss. Very few companies will disclose to their independent contractors how much money they're making on their financial arrangements. I do that. Should everyone do that? I love transparency. I love openness, honesty, all that good stuff. I like it. But like, would I expect everyone to? Public companies do that. If you work for a public company, if you work for Coca-Cola, if you work for McDonald's, if you work for Walmart, your company actually fully discloses how much money they make because they have to legally. I don't have to do that, but I do it because I just think that's the right thing to do. But am I mad about people that don't? No. I don't know their situation and it's not my business. And that's how I leave it. And I think more people, the world would be a better place if more people had the same opinion as I do on that. In my opinion, I think a lot of people just worry about, like I said, things that don't affect them at all. And I get it, but it's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
So you're welcome and sorry, Ponga. And one thing too, like I could literally, and I won't, I'll spare everyone. I could talk until the new year. I have 8 hours and 46 minutes until the new year. I could talk until the new year on this topic. Literally. Walmart, massive company. They pay minimum wage to a lot of people. A lot of people, and this is semi-political, I guess, but a lot of people just say things without knowing anything. People, Walmart made however many tens of billions of dollars and blah, blah, blah. Walmart's profit margin is like their actual net profit at the end of the day, it's like a few percent. Walmart actually could not afford to give everyone a 50% raise or 100% raise. They actually become insolvent if they double everyone's pay. But I hear a lot of things about like they should double the pay and minimum wage to $30 and this and it's like that's just made up stuff. The numbers don't actually work. Like if you, I'm not going to turn it into that, but I could if people wanted to. You can just Google how much did Walmart make last year. You could Google how much Walmart, how many employees they have. You could do the math on like how much more could they pay out to just make no money. And they're a business, so they're not going to make no money. But some of the things people say like get really, really weird. And that there's arguments like should they have that many employees? Are they a viable business model if they can't pay enough? And so many of their employees have to have food stamps and yada yada yada. Like it gets very political. It gets very like into things that I'm not an expert on. But some of the like baseline things that people just know nothing about, really weird, really weird things that people say. And I used to be worse about going into the comment sections on Facebook and hearing some of my dumb old former high school friends and some of my dumb relatives, like seeing some of the comments they'd make on some of these things. And it's like, oh my God, I wish I didn't know at Christmas how dumb that one person was. I wish I could go back and I could neuralize myself like everyone does about all the drama in the hobby. But I just don't engage in those spaces anymore because it's like, I couldn't bring positivity to them. Going back to the DJ's Poke Center, going back to like, why do you comment negative things on people's YouTube videos? Going back to the like, if I can't bring positivity to it and it doesn't bring positivity to me, I'm not going to engage. More people should do that.
It's never gonna happen.
Oh, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But I'm so annoyed at myself that I can't think of the word. When Jordan says like I nothing you, it's not ignorance, it's like a word for just completely ignoring, pretending something doesn't exist. I'm gonna try to find it quick with
I could not
disregard. That's not it either. Being apathetic is kind of like it. It's kind of apathy, but there's something else I'm going for specifically that I just can't find. But anyways, well, 50% pay cut inbound. You can thank your co-independent contractor Ponga. No, if and when the market turns, I might have to lower independent contractor pay, and if and when I ever do it, they won't have a question of like how much of this is Dan's corporate greed and how much of this is Dan. Like, if and when I lose money, I will tell them, I will show them, and I will cut their pay. That's the way that we're set up. And honestly, I'm a bad businessman for the way that I pay my people, probably. There's an argument to be made that the goodwill that I'm generating and all that stuff, and like it, and I actually agree with that. But there's like a crude, cruel capitalist argument that would be logical and could be made that I'm just a bad businessman and I pay too much. Well, like I don't agree with it, but it could be made. A good argument could be made. But everyone listening, the 6 people affected, you're not getting a pay decrease due to anything had in this conversation. If and when you get a pay decrease, it will be because of market conditions. I will fully disclose why. Oh God. Dan going on a rant gonna make Grimer hate me. Oh man. Do you guys think that Pokemon in the future will have a junk wax era in the future like modern sports cards have seen, or do you think it will hold strong?
I think it'll hold strong. We talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago. I forget. But yeah, I think there's just too many differences between sports and Pokemon. I've never liked that comparison. But yeah, I think Pokemon knows what they're doing. They'll continue to do what they do. Hopefully ramp up production and start printing more. But yeah, I don't think we'll see like we did with the like 80s, 90s sports era where everything became worthless. I can't see that happening.
Yeah, and what we talked about 2 weeks ago is there was Fleer and Donruss and Upper Deck and Topps and Panini, and there were all these companies all simultaneously printing the same people, whereas in Pokemon, it's Pokemon. I don't think we will have one like Modern Sports Cards did, but the great thing about it, and the thing that makes me feel more comfortable, is if and when we did start towing the line of something like that. Like, I know that Pokemon could. I don't think they will, but I know that they could overprint Pokemon to death. One thing they have, ace in the hole, they saw how sports saved themselves. Sports almost printed themselves to death, but they saved themselves with serialization. If and when Pokemon gets there, they'll serialize and they'll buy themselves decades more, very likely. So yeah, I feel very confident that we will not have a demise in the next decade like the Junk Wax era, because they have an ace in the hole to go to, and I think they'll just not get there anyways.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back.
Question: most off-center take for Pokemon in 2026, and use one word to describe your thoughts on the Pokemon Cross Lego product. One word: awesome. I loved Lego growing up. I love Pokemon growing up. I love that they're collaborating. It was always an abomination that Pokemon collaborated with like Mega Bloks or whatever fake Lego building toy product it was. I forget the company. That was always the biggest miss. So most off-center take for Pokemon in 2026. Like, honestly, I think my most off-center take that most people disagree with is that like Destined, Journey, Prismatic, they're gonna go to MSRP. I think in the space of Pokemon, I think it's horribly off-center to propose that like Phantasmal Flames and Mega Evolution in these sets will go under MSRP. So like I'm gonna stick with that one. Other off-center takes, I don't know if this is off-center or not, but I know the Off-Center podcast. Obviously, this is a bit by them. Shout out to them. Their episode should be coming out Friday. That whole senator talking about the monopoly of PSA, I don't think this is off-centered. Like Snipe, like the Logan Paul Illustrator Liquid Auctions, nobody cares. Nothing is going to happen with that, I don't think. Maybe that's a center take. Maybe that's an off-center take. Maybe this is an off-center take too, but like I don't even know what's centered and off-centered anymore. I feel like I know that I'm a fairly strange person with fairly strange beliefs and things about like the world and society, and I have some fairly things that I feel are logical and rational and reasonable. I have some takes that are like very out there, and I understand that. So my off-center take is like I don't even know what's off-center or on-center anymore, because like this world we live in, yeah, it's just I don't know. So what's your off-center take for 2026? Mine was, I don't know if I was in your ear or not, but no. Pokemon Lego, awesome, and then off-center, Pokemon going to MSRP. I think that's very off-center in the realm of PokeTube.
Ooh, Pokemon and Lego. I'm gonna say game changing. I don't think that'll be my one word. Off center take. Yeah, I guess similar would be the market crashing. I just don't see the same type of crash that we saw in 2020 happening now. Yes, pricing will probably go down on a lot of stuff, but I don't think it'll go down to the extent that we saw back then.
Thank you, UAP, for the question. Guru wants to know, what's your prediction for the Charizard EX UPC in 1 year? One singular unit of it, I will say $110.
Ooh, I mean, yeah, yeah, I'd say around there. I'm gonna say a little bit higher. Maybe. I'm gonna say 120 because it is a really, yeah. I'm gonna stick with 120.
In I'm gonna do the Dan thing. Like it could be 70,
Oh,
and it could be
God.
300. Like it could be a very wide range. I have no idea, but like one singular number, 110. I think it's gonna go under MSRP. I think it will be widely available through Costco and Sam's Club and things like that for some amount of time. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Pooks Magoo says, how do you view the future of vending? It seems like everyone and their mother are doing it now, and it seems very susceptible to pullback and knee-jerk sell-offs.
I think vending's here to stay. I don't think vending will be going anywhere. There's so many more local shows that are popping up, and they're all successful. So I think that's here to stay. Like sports card shows have always been a thing. Coin shows have always been a thing. Card shows were really, like, TCG shows were really never a thing until 2021 with Collecticon. And now that they're getting bigger, you've got other local shows that are getting bigger and bigger. So I think it's definitely something that's here to stay and won't go anywhere. As far as like individual vendors go, I do think there's a lot of turnover with that type of stuff. There's, because we go to a lot of like local shows around here, and it is surprising the amount of vendors who have like decent setups. They've got a lot of stuff. They seem to know what they're talking about. Yet they just got into Pokemon within the past like year or two. It's kind of wild how many new people are actually getting into the hobby and doing it as like a part-time, or even I think might be a few of them that do it as like a full-time thing. But that part is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think there will be ebbs and flows. I think there's some people that jumped in earlier this year that are getting kind of wrecked right now with a 10, 20, 30% pullback, depending on what you're looking at. As always, that there will be turnover in it. But I hope it stays a thing into the future. I went to a local. It's crazy. I went to 2 Worlds, and I've been to 10 plus Collecticons, and I went to a card party, and I went to all these things all over the country. And I just went to my first local like a couple months ago, and I ran into a couple people that I knew there, a couple people that I knew, like mostly local to me. Well, both local to me, but one, interestingly, like a guy that I've seen at a few Collecticons too. But I think it's just good that people are like engaging in the hobby. It's good to see people getting enjoyment. It's good to see that there's demand for 24 Collecticons and 3 card parties and Worlds and all the regionals and all the everything they do. Obviously, some of that's TCG, not just vending. But I think it's all great. I'm bullish on it. It's not for me, though. Like, I have vended in the past. I don't intend on vending be a big thing into the future. One thing I do want to make a thing, though. I plan on some of my team coming in. I plan on, in addition to my very high compensation that I'll provide to my independent contractors, I'm going to buy some tables. I'm going to buy some Airbnbs or suites at some different events. There's one. Let me see if I can find it on my phone quick. I put it in my calendar. It's in Syracuse, New York. So if you're local, come drive out to it. I'm going to be there with a bunch of the team. April 11th is like PokeCon, I think they call it, which is a little bit dicey to have that right in the name. Hopefully this podcast doesn't get too much traction and Pokemon sends them a cease and desist. But there's PokeCon on April 11th at the New York State Fairgrounds. And then on the 12th, it's called Collector Con, not Collect a Con, Collector Con. And it's like a little local in Syracuse, New York. I'm gonna again, I don't know if it'll be a suite at a hotel. I don't know if it'll be a couple suites, Airbnb, but I'm going to entice the aforementioned independent contractors of KetchumAllCollectibles Incorporated here for a weekend. And we're gonna have a table. We're gonna be buying. Unlike a Collecticon, like it's not gonna take a whole weekend to hit the whole floor. But we're going to be buying people out. We might have a little bit of stuff, people bringing their own things to sell. I'm trying to make it a little bit of a thing, at least with us. I figured I was going to talk about it on YouTube. I don't know if anyone local to me will come, but yeah, I had the thought. It doesn't land with any Collecticon, I don't think. It's 2 weeks before Chicago Collecticon. But I thought about like, and I don't know. I don't know if I have the pull for this. But if I like talked about it, if I like pumped it up some, would some other people actually come to it? I don't know. But I need
I'm
to look
sure
into,
you can get other people to go.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of pull I have. Nick, would you come to CollectorCon or PokeCon and CollectorCon? It's nothing like a CollectorCon, I can assure you. But I think it'll be a good time. I think if you get the right amount of people there, the right people there, I think it'll be a good time.
I think you can definitely do that. I think you can definitely do that for sure.
I still need to myself. I need to reach out. Hopefully it's not like Collecticon. Hopefully they didn't sell the tables off like 2 months ago. And the way that it was set up though, like New York Fairgrounds, State Fairgrounds are large. The building they were in was not full. So like you could have literally just like set another table at the end of a row and you could have expanded it over 100 tables just in the building they were in. So like I'm pretty confident this thing doesn't sell out. I'll have to shoot someone a DM or an email or whatever. I need to figure out more details. But maybe in March-ish, I'll go on the full pump and try to get some people out to PokeCon in Syracuse, New York.
There we go. There we go.
Nick once bought me a churro. Good to see Dan flying team out and providing similar perks. I'll make a video about it. I do have a YouTube channel that I utilize. I'll make a video about it at some point. But like 2025 was a record year. I paid well and I did well for myself too. I never have done much advertising. I've done a random Instagram ad here or there for the consignment, for my buy list, whatever. And it's worked a little bit. But I intend on having a little bit of like an actual budget. Like with my top line, with my like bottom line, like the gross numbers that I'm doing, the bottom line net number that I'm doing, I have space to have an ad budget, a travel budget of like easily a few grand a month. I don't know if I'll deploy the whole thing all at once, but like I want to play around with trying to push the name out a little bit wider. I don't expect at this point the team of independent contractors to grow at all, but I think there's more growth that could be had if and when any of the current independent contractors decide to take a full-time leap. One thing that I haven't talked about too is my sister's employment. My sister's employment recently changed. She quit her job. She whatever the reasons were, she quit her job. Years ago, she used to help me with some Pokemon stuff, and independent contractor, she does other things and she does certain things with me. She's working with me for me again. So I actually have a little bit more. My kids are getting older. My kids are not independent contractors. They're actually W-2s. I have 2 office assistants on the payroll. Very high rates of I cannot find words today. High rates of nepotism. High rates of nepotism in the KetchumAllCollectibles company. I'm the president. Wife is the vice president. 2 kids are the office assistants, and then my sister is an independent contractor. But yeah, she helps me packages that I get at the PO box. Not itemizing, but checking those over, getting people paid. Like she's actually taking over some roles a little bit here and there. So having a little bit more time to do things. Like 2026 is going to be a big year. Was your sister fired and called it quitting like you did? No, she put in her 2-week notice, and then she got offered a raise, and then she declined the raise, and she continued to quit. So yeah. Yeah, she I asked for a raise. They said no, and then I put in my 2-week notice and I quit. And they didn't try to offer me a raise to keep me. They they said don't let the door hit you. But yeah, I consciously, like, I will have more time to consign more cards. But part of the reason that I haven't advertised it too much over the past couple of years is like I would be running kind of thin on time. And if my consignment, shout out to James, shout out to ZNG Emporium. I don't know if you watched his video this morning, Nick, but he dusted off the YouTube channel, first video in months. Spoilers, I guess. Still go watch it. $49 million James sold in 2025. $49 million.
That's wild.
I'm not gonna 7x my business next year, but like I have the time to 7x consignments. Fanatics does most of the heavy lifting. So it's like I have the time to 7x certain aspects of my business. Now that my sister can handle some of the other stuff, the PO box and paying people, like counting the packs, verifying the TCG player list of singles that I'm buying, verifying the slab list that I'm buying and reselling. I'm gonna do a little ad spend. I'm gonna have a little travel budget. You're gonna see a bunch of KetchumAllCollectibles shirts floating around, some Collecticons and some Syracuse Pokecons, and I'm looking forward to 2026. Yeah, James took a month off, making it even wilder.
That is true.
Would have been a full 50 had he not taken that month off for sure.
That's crazy.
And one thing I know, I couldn't find it before. I think I tried pulling it up like a couple episodes ago, but Gemray did a post on Instagram somewhere about like here's the last 90 days or whatever. ZNG Emporium, DC Sports, Probstein, and so on. I really am rooting. Like usually, and going back to what I said earlier, people caring about things that don't affect them. I don't like I don't like the whole thing that happened with Probstein and Snipe, and I am hoping that I see on Gemray. I want to see ZNG pass Probstein. I want to see DC Sports blow past Probstein. I want to see that business go down from what he did. Like I really want to see it. There's a little bit of rooting for that to go down, which is a bad thing to do. That's not a good trait, but like I'm definitely scorned over what happened. I was gonna try to find quickly if I could find it on Instagram, but I don't think I will. Here's a good one. All the drama, all the negative stuff. Top 3 acts of kindness you did for someone else that made the most impact on you.
Oh God,
that's tough.
Haven't done anything this year.
Nick's like I've never done 3 acts of kindness in my life, let alone he didn't say this year, but let me go first. I have one that I can say quickly. I don't know if I'll come up with 3, but like I'm gonna use it to say this in a good way too. It's like not that I haven't done 3 in my life, but I don't like keep score on things that way. The only reason this one comes to mind so quickly is that I have a new neighbor that moved in. A couple months ago, and he came up from the Carolinas, and he's never had snow like this. He does not yet have. I don't know if he owns a shovel. He doesn't have a snowblower. He doesn't have a plow. He doesn't know people in the area. He hasn't set up that yet. So he one day I was snowblowing my driveway, and the first time I met him, he walked down. He walked down. It's like 100 yards maybe. He walked down to my house, and he's like, "Hey, I heard your snowblower. I'm snowed into my driveway. Like, could I pay you to come snowblow my driveway?" And I'm like, "I'll just come do it. It's going to take me 10 minutes. My driveway is way bigger, and it takes like 15 minutes. So the walk to his driveway took longer than just doing his driveway. And I've done it like 3 times now. I did put like a date on it, but every time I've done it, he's been like, "I'm sorry. Like, how much do you need? Can I just pay you for the winter?" And I don't want to have a side hustle of like clearing snow. I don't mind doing my own snow at all. But I told him, it's like, I would rather do it for you free for half the winter than do it for like with what I do in my day job. It's like I would need to charge a lot of money to make it worthwhile to do. So it's like I'm not going to do that. But it's like I'd rather do it for free for a few weeks until you get it sorted out. And I talked to the other neighbors, and it's like, hey, these people pay. Like, I don't know who they are. I've never paid to have snow removed. I've always just done it myself. But it's like, hey, until this date, like I've got you. Don't need anything. Don't worry about it. Pay it forward, whatever. And he's been very thankful of that. And it hasn't necessarily made a big impact on me, but I genuinely hope that I'm a good net positive. I hope my existence is plus EV to the world. I think it is. And I think I actually had this conversation with my wife last night about like donating to charities and things like that, doing that a little bit more. We're doing really well. Our health is good. Our finances are good. We should do more to like spread that. And that's one little thing that I've been doing the past week or two. And I'll do it for the next week or so until some other arrangement gets made. And I don't think that's directly making like a massive impact on me, but hopefully it's really helping that individual out. Hopefully they will pay it forward in some way. And I think that's the kind of thing that, like, going back to what I said earlier, if more people did things like that and didn't need something back from it, I think the world would be a better place. Yeah. What about you, Nick?
Do you have another one while I continue to think?
Oh man, I tried to rant extra and ramble extra so that you could think of something, so that you could really dig deep.
I don't know. I think me just being me is enough.
Here we go. We got one. We got one in the chat. She was paid to say this. She's on the payroll. I don't believe her.
There we go. There we go. That's a good one. No, I actually was gonna say. I do think Thrifty finally moving up here was. I don't know if it's so much an act of kindness because she's getting paid, but I do think that was a good move. Obviously, I'm a little biased because it's working out good for me too, but I think it definitely helped motivate Thrifty to do a bit more with Pokemon and take it a bit more seriously, and hopefully start making a little bit more money with it. So I think that was a good thing.
LOL, says Thrifty.
Wow, that's my heartfelt message. I just get an LOL.
And I'm actually I'm an assistant leader. I was kind of volunteered into the position a little bit, but I've had this thought. I think I need to actively and consciously do more to put good things out more actively other than just passively. And I'm not perfect. I say all these things and I hope people don't hear it in a negative way. Oh, Dan just thinks he's this perfect person. I know I'm not, far from it. But I consciously like want to do more for the community for whatever. And I'm like an assistant. I'm an assistant leader. I'm not the leader. I'm an assistant to the leader. If you asked him, probably. I would say I'm an assistant leader for the local wolf den of Cub Scouts. But he would say I'm an assistant to the leader. And we do like part of Scouts is, and I was a Scout when I was growing up for a few years. It's going to the local cemetery and putting flags on the graves on Memorial Day. And it's like, it's going to like food pantries and donating and helping hand out like all that kind of stuff. Like but I don't like store them all in my memory and keep score. And I don't wait for things to come back from them. And I think that's like more important to do things that way. And I'm not saying like I'm not putting negativity on UAP for having asked it in that way, but yeah, I try to not do things. How is me snow blowing my neighbor's driveway going to help me? That's maybe I'm just reading it in an inherently negative way, but like the way that it's read, it's like I'm not seeking impact when I do acts of kindness, if that makes sense. And maybe I'm just reading it weird. I don't know.
No, I think that's right. I think that's how he meant it.
But
he just wanted to emphasize how terrible of people we are.
Yeah. What's a tool or an existing product that you use every day that you wish more people knew about? Man, there's usually one within arm's reach. It came in handy more in my former job. And now I wear gym shorts so much of my day that I don't always carry one. But a Leatherman, not sponsored, a Leatherman multi-tool is something that everyone should have in their car. They should have it in their junk drawer. They should have it at their desk. They should have it everywhere. It's got pliers. It's got screwdrivers. It's got knives on it for cutting open packages. Or it came in more handy when I was an engineer, and I always had it in my pocket. I used it way more often. My dad's a mechanic, though. I have like 12 of them. It's called a Leatherman Wingman. It clips right into your thing, clips right on a belt, whatever. And so that's like probably an unexpected answer. Nothing to do with Pokemon, but it's just like a cool everyday tool to help you through life. And it does help me on Pokemon some too, because it's like, I don't know where my closest box cutter is. I've got a Leatherman Wingman somewhere. But in Pokemon more directly, I guess, I've been using ChatGPT a lot. I think almost everyone has heard of AI these days. I think it's largely misunderstood. I think people say AI, like people would call Roombas AI. They just use computers, and so people misclassify a lot of things as AI. But people are clearly aware ChatGPT exists and all that stuff. But like the amount of things that I've overhauled with my consigner spreadsheets and with some of my day-to-day workflows on like that kind of stuff is massive. And I think people know about it, but not how useful it would be. There's so many different tools out there. I've only ever used ChatGPT. It's just the first one that I went for, and I'm happy with it. And maybe there's a better one for my applications. But yeah, I think a lot of people are missing out not having a multi-tool on hand, on person at all times, and not using this this AI craze situation that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm. AI. I liked your Letterman answer better. I thought that was a good one. So I was the same way on my grandpa always used to have one growing up, and then he taught us to always have one. And then working on the ship, you'd always need something. So that was definitely nice. Yeah. Now what? I would say probably one that I told myself I would never do because I thought it was dumb, but actually ended up being a really good idea, was just having a second phone, like a dedicated phone for streaming that I just use for streaming, and then having my regular phone. I always thought that was dumb, but now that I don't have to use my actual phone as my camera for streaming, it is a really nice little benefit feature, whatever you want to call it. So I would definitely say, if you're a streamer, use your old phone for streaming and use a new phone for your actual phone.
Couldn't you just get a camera? I know you Apple people are so like iPhones are the best at everything. There has to be
you stream with a camera, because you gotta be able to see. Okay, you're looking at
there has to be a camera out there that does that, though. There has to be a camera that does that for cheaper than Apple does it.
Unless you want to get something super expensive and fancy, I don't know.
You're talking about having a second $1,000 phone. You have some budget you have some room to get a good camera. What are we talking about? I say that tongue in cheek. Obviously, I don't actually care. I think the whole Android Apple thing is funny. But the first thing my mind goes to is like, you don't need to get a phone. You could just get a camera. I genuinely don't know firsthand. Like I don't stream like that. I have an overhead camera here, a $50 camera, the same as my face cam, same as the camera that looks at Snorlax over there. I haven't done that bit in a while, but it feels like somewhere on the market there would be a thing for less than $1,000 that does what you're doing with a phone, right? I could be wrong though.
I think you're wrong. We're just gonna go with it.
I'm open to being wrong. I definitely could be the case. I know, again, Apple people, it's the only thing that can be used, but my roommate, part of the thing behind it too is like my roommate going to college was very much that way. He was like Apple everything. He was like the biggest fanboy, and he one thing I always poked back at him on is like, I went to a school that had like a standard issue laptop, and you didn't get it for free, but you got it at a discount. Like they had a big contract with ThinkPad. I've always had like Lenovo ThinkPads. T61 was my first, then T480 and T410 and whatever else. But anyways, I used to make a joke with him because he had his Apple and he wouldn't do the thing. And it's like, he had to, I'm not a super tech savvy guy, but he had a virtual, like a Windows virtual machine secondary on his laptop that he had to go into, and the amount of struggle that he had with the different programs that we ran, and then some of the games that he played. It's like he always had to dual boot into Windows and this and that. And it's like just get the stupid Lenovo laptop and then have both. It's like the amount of things he went through to only be with that Apple. It was crazy to me. It's like you've got the money, just have both. This is crazy. But Apple was always the best. So some history there.
I like it. I like it.
Tavo says, which do you think will hold for a long-term stable investment, sealed product or high-end slabs? I am, as per my video Monday, I am short plastic. I am long cardboard. I like sealed products significantly more than high-end slabs. Nuance necessary, though. Some people will hear that. I am not talking about Destined Rivals at 400. I'm not talking about Mega Evolution at 230 or whatever the hell it is. I'm talking about specific things at specific prices. I don't like a lot of things currently. But so like if you're talking Destined Rivals at 400 or this slab at 5,000, I like this slab better at 5,000. I don't even know what it's worth, but somewhere around 5,000 probably. So there's always nuance. Generally though, sealed product.
Yeah, I'm going sealed. Sealed over singles for sure.
Nick is also short plastic and long cardboard. I think this is our last active question. If I missed any, let me know. But yeah, if you have any final questions, feel free to ask it in chat. We are going to wrap up in the next 10 minutes or so. Fresh Tat wanted to know, Nick, thoughts on the North Face Pokemon jackets?
Ooh, those look so
wearing
good.
A North Face as we speak.
It's not like I don't know if he's just randomly mentioning this, but someone sent me. It's not like an official collab, but there's someone out there that does like what's it like embroidery or stitching on like North Face jackets of Pokemon. And I forget the name of the company, but they look so good. I was actually looking into it for a brief period, because they had a Squirtle one that I would
I'll pull it up
wear.
It
looked so cool, but it's like $800.
Holy crap!
Absurdly expensive. Yeah,
this one here.
Yep. The Squirtle one looks so good.
That's yeah, that's cool. I'm not huge on like the I guess this isn't like bootleg merch. It's just real merch that's modified into. But that Squirtle Squad is really cool. That's way above my jacket budget though. I do have a Pikachu. I have a Pikachu zip up that I probably paid like $60 for, which is generally way above my budget. But I get mileage out of that thing. I've worn that thing a lot. It's way too light of a jacket to wear in January and February where I live, but I wear it in January and February where I live. For sure. I went to the post office today in my gym shorts without my Leatherman clipped on, but I had one in the car. I have 10 in the house, and I'm lazy. I don't cut my hair or my beard because I don't want to. My clerk at the post office, I was like, how are you wearing shorts today, Dan? What are you doing? I'm outside for 30 seconds into my car, 30 seconds to the post office. I've got a starter. I start at 5 minutes before, and it's warm by the time I get in there. But yeah, $800. That's nuts.
Yeah. I was so excited when I saw it, but then I saw the price and was not as excited.
Sounds like you didn't get it. Sounds like it would have been a good Christmas idea, and nobody put it in your stocking, unfortunately.
I was kind of expecting Walrus or Thrifty to get it for me for Christmas for being the world's best boss, but still haven't gotten it.
Wait, is this a thing? Are there Pokemon Labubus?
Oh God! I hope that's real.
I'm going all in. There's no way, is there? I
Is
see an Instagram thing. It's probably bootleg, right?
I would imagine if it took this long for Pokemon to do a collab with Lego, I can't see them doing this quick of a collab with Labubu.
Oh, maybe it's not a Is this official Pokemon? I don't know. I found, let me share. I found Danerion on Instagram. I feel like I've heard that name. But it's like an official Pokemon looking thing where you just get like a little Poké doll type deal. So it's like a mystery Poké plush.
Huh.
So yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll be interested to hear people are fine with their cards coming in that fashion, but is Pokemon evil for mysteryizing the plushie scene or the whatever these things are? I don't know if they're made out of like vinyl or if they're plushie or whatever, but like I've said it a million times. If you walk down the toy aisle at your local store, my mom gave my kids a certain amount of money to just like, hey, this isn't for your savings account. Like, stop that, man. You're not making them save this. This is explicitly for like, go get yourself something. Go pick out something. They bought like these little weird plushy things that are just like stupid little whatever, and it's like mystery, and there's like 12 of them in the series, and like one of them is limited. It's like everything is that, which it is what it is. But yeah, I'm not going to invest. I'm not going to speculate. Well, I mean, if I have access to get them wholesale and there's consumer demand on the live streams for them, I wouldn't be opposed to selling them. I mean, yeah. If those somehow took off, if those were the next crazy thing, and you could buy these blind boxes for $10 a piece and sell them for $20 a piece or whatever you need to make margin, would you sell them on your live streams? Would you be ripping Poke Boo Boos?
100%. 100%.
Oh man. Actually, thinking about Pokemon Legos, I'll have to post this in the independent contractor chat. Some of them are probably still here. Building Pokemon Legos on stream. If you're in a lull, if you're waiting for some instant rips to sell, doing a Pokemon Lego build during the live stream. That's a good shout. That's a good play.
There we go.
So we did that. I think there's another question or two, and then we'll wrap. I know you attended them less because business is booming, but what are your opinions on in-person events as we move into 2026, local shows and larger events like CollectCon? We talked about it a little bit earlier. You probably came in later, but I'm bullish on them. I enjoy them. I will go to 2 or 3 CollectCons in a year. I plan on going to my big events for the year. Let's close on that, Nick. 2026 is coming. My big events, my must-go-tos are PokeCon in April in Syracuse. That is going to happen. April 11th, April 12th. Put it on your calendars. I'll probably do one of the 2 Chicago's CollectCons. I don't know which one. I'll probably do one of the 2 New Jerseys. I don't know which one. Charlotte is definitely happening. Going to be a whole family trip, so the whole family's going to be there. Excited for that one. And then Fanatics Fest in June, I think. I think Fanatics Fest is June. Javits Center, New York City. That one is like a must this year. So that is my July. Fanatics Fest is July 16th to the 19th. I don't know if I'll go to the whole thing, but at least going to one of the days, I'm going to make that happen. Mm-hmm. So I'm bullish on events. I don't vend at them. I buy at them some. I go, I hang out, I have a good time, do a little buying, spread the KetchumAllCollectibles word, hand out some business cards, wheel and deal, get some consignments rolling.
There we go. Yeah, for me it'll be both Chicago's, Charlotte, the
PokeCon?
Vegas one all CollectCon.
No,
the Vegas
PokeCon.
one. Huh?
PokeCon, I said.
Oh, possibly that. Possibly that.
One thing that we can loop in for the early birds that want to come out, maybe Thursday, maybe we have a stay at the Turning Stone Casino. We'll take it offline. We'll talk about it.
That's a given. If I'm going, we better hit the casino.
We'll talk the particulars offline. Pietro says, "Come to Orlando with your family for Collecticon." If my wife was listening, which maybe she is, she would be all for that. And I will say probably next year. So next year or 2 years, at some point, my family will do Disney. We will do Disney large. We will be on resort. We'll go for multiple days. There are benefits to tying that to a business trip, having the vice president, the president, the 2 office assistants. There are benefits to tying in a Collecticon to that. So that will probably happen someday. Probably not this year, though. My kids haven't flown yet. And I'm just to be cautious. Once you're up in a tin can, tens of thousands of feet above. If my kids have ear issues, if they have whatever issues with it, Charlotte is a short flight. So we're going to start with Charlotte next year, and then we'll expand from there. So some year for sure. Orlando, Disney, Universal, all that stuff. If my wife is listening, she is salivating at the thought of that. But yeah, definitely someday, Pietro. Did you cover all you're going to do a bunch of locals too, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think that'll be the biggest thing is to try and get more consistent with the local shows. Because those are easy to go to.
Bondo wants to know. This one's more for you. I'm tapped out. Maximum
independent
this contractors.
One's all you. You got to be in person for OSP employment. We don't do the remote hiring. So unless you want to move out to Chicago, Pokebondo, you're out of luck.
I love all my guys, but I only want to see you 5 to 6 times a year. There's a hard cap. Like you cannot live near me. I actually have a remote requirement for my independent contractors. Living 5 minutes from a casino, like if someone in Pokemon Deep lived too close to me, I would fear how much I'd end up at the casino. I would fear how much less work I would get done. So it's better that people stay remote, and then we meet up several times a year. But no, I think with my current people, I think I will be expanding a lot already. Never say never, but like I don't anticipate adding anyone, but the probably filled out at KetchumAllCollectibles. You're capping so hard and I have proof. What am I capping on? Or is Nick capping? It's probably me because it's Ponga.
Yeah.
Couple quick ones. I am going to be watching movies with my kids. My kids are 5 and 7. They are staying for the 2nd year in a row. They're going to stay up till the ball drops. Ooh. They had no issues. They stayed up easy last year. No problems whatsoever. They'll make it till midnight. Gonna make some popcorn, watch a movie, gonna play some board games, all different kinds of stuff. It's gonna be a fun night. I'm making Wagyu steaks, and I am also making a seafood boil, crab legs, lobster claws, shrimp, all that stuff. So very excited. What are your plans, Nick?
I'll be streaming tonight. I don't have any plans. No, I've never been one to do much for New Year's.
I may or may not have sent Ponga many Zillow listings back when he back a while ago. So mostly memeing, but I knew Ponga wouldn't actually move out to me. But he's saying I'm capping on the not wanting streamers to live near me.
Oh, okay.
And then Ghettoed says, do you guys feel like the current TCG ecosystem is healthy in terms of the scale of those making money and those losing money? I think in every year of my life, in every facet of some, like there are bars near me that many patrons use responsibly. Some of them use very irresponsibly. There's a casino very close to me that some people use responsibly and some use irresponsibly. Pokemon, 30 years. Some people have destroyed their lives with it and will continue to. Sucks. I think it's reasonable. I think everything that's going on today is not inherently negative. I think it's all fine. I think certain things are better than others. I try to conduct myself in a way that is moral and transparent and good and legal and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's overall healthy. There are bad things that go on. Talked about some of those earlier for half an hour. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Nick? Should we trash it all? Should Pokemon be banned like it is in school? Should it be banned for society because it's so bad and unhealthy?
No, I think it's up to the individual. The vast majority of people are fine. It's that small minority that are just being idiots themselves, and they can do what they want with their money.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. So with that, we are going to wrap up today and this year. Hope everyone has a very happy holiday season, all that good stuff. Hope everyone has a very happy, safe New Year's tonight. Be safe, be responsible. Get a designated driver if you're going out and about. But yeah, find Catch 'em All Collectibles on eBay Live and Fanatics Live every day, all the time. Find Old School Pokemon every day, all the time, almost every day on eBay Live. And here's to a bigger and boomier 2026. We appreciate.
Have a happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
We appreciate you all watching as always. We will catch you all later.